Oh wait, are we live?
We're live. Yeah, we sure are. Welcome everyone to the Lonely Marks here on the Movie Hero Network.
Extra lonely this week.
We're very extra lonely right now. We're waiting on Richie, but yes, we're a little extra lonely right now. But I'm not by myself. I'm here with JPO,
Hey,
Jordan Noah, and
until
the rest of
someone
the
knocks on my door, then I'm gonna leave you by
I know,
yourself.
and he's gonna leave, and I'm gonna have to talk by myself awkwardly for a minute, but I'll do my best. I can gab about stuff, so I'll find something to talk about. Either that, or I'll just play like some of my random whatever.
It's still real to me, damn it!
First
I'll
of
just
all,
end,
you
I'll
play.
just end I'll just entertain you guys for a minute. Yeah, I'll play some random stuff, whatever. Hang in there. But anyways, welcome to Lonely Marks. Glad you're
Hey,
joining us wherever you are. Yeah, we're here tonight. We got some topics to talk about. Usually we go on Thursday, but obviously anytime there's a really major pay-per-view, we try to hit those things on the Monday
and
after.
luckily last night was Impact Emergent, so we had to
Oh
talk
man, so yeah, we're gonna
now.
talk some Impact, man. We're gonna run it all down. That main event, Deanna Purrazzo, man, what a great main event. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. No, we're gonna talk some All In
Oh,
tonight.
that
So,
one, that
yeah,
one.
that other little show that happened over in England a little while back. But before we get into a couple of news items coming out of the show that we can talk about. Obviously, one of the things, more backstage drama,
Oh
JPO,
no.
because it's getting to the point where you almost want to go, who's the common denominator in all these backstage situations? Maybe a guy named CM Punk.
People that have problems with Phil, it's not
Yeah,
always Phil's
I
fault,
know.
is
It's
it?
Phil. Well, he
Um,
seems to be at the
And it's
center
the
of every
same
one of these
time
issues.
too, almost. Well, it was all out last year, and now it's all
Yeah,
in this year because it was brawl out. It's the only reason I remember because they called it brawl out.
yeah, yeah, with chairs throwing and all kinds of stuff. But
couple
yeah,
different,
apparently
couple different versions I've heard, but it does boil down to like Punk said something, but it sounds like Perry got physical first. I don't know. It depends on
it
who you
sounds
listen
like
to.
Perry had said
CM
something
Punk and
at
Jack
some
Perry is what we're talking
point.
about. In case you don't
Yeah,
know, the
CM Punk and
viewers.
Jack Perry, the whatever confrontation, whatever happened. Yeah, we're getting multiple kind of versions. The
Yeah.
consensus version seems to be that Perry said something to him behind the curtain and then like kind of bumped into him. Punk said, "You got a
Mm.
problem? What's your problem?" And then there was a brief physical altercation, although no like punches thrown or anything, but some pushing and shoving, some kind of
I
altercation.
saw another one that was like, and then there was a chokehold. So I think it depends on who you
Well,
listen
I mean,
to.
chokehold is like if
Yeah.
somebody, pushed you away via neck, is that really a chokehold, or
I
just,
don't know. I'm just saying. I feel like
who
it depends
knows?
on who you listen to. I know Miro called bullshit on one of the reports. I remember he like tweeted like that's just not true, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So yeah, who knows exactly? We do know they both.
Supposedly they were also both asked to leave. Like Punk left after his match. Perry left during Punk's match. Like I don't know.
Yeah, they both left the arena shortly after. Yeah, because Punk still had that was right before he went out for his match with
Yeah,
Joe.
supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, and
Because
then
yeah,
Perry left. Perry left. They were separated. They left in different cars. Whatever. Different times they left, and then they're dealing with that. There are rumors that both guys might get suspended or something. I don't know. There's still news
I
coming
know
out of
the
it.
world title. What are we gonna do without it?
Yeah, what are we gonna do without the X title? And yeah, without Jack Perry. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, so it's another situation going down there, and yeah, who knows what information is going to come out, what more will come out. Yeah, conflicting reports, as you said, JPO, of kind of what exactly happened, but just more backstage drama that man, it's like, can't we all just get along and just and if you have a problem with somebody, just stay in separate locker rooms, just stay away from each other, and do your own thing. This is why Tony needs to have these I said these veteran guys who take care of these backstage issues and iron this stuff out.
He
Some guys that
should.
guys can
Supposedly Dean
respect.
Malenko and Jerry Lynn and Christopher
Jerry Lynn,
Daniels.
Arn Anderson, and all these
They're in
guys.
the
Yeah, it's like
back.
they're right there. Yeah, have these guys iron. That everybody respects. That nobody would dare. Nobody, because who's going to hit Jerry Lynn? Like he's the nicest guy on the planet. Like yeah, if Jerry Lynn got in the middle, you'd have to calm down. But yeah, he needs people that can kind of see these issues coming, head them off at the pass, and deal with it
I
as
mean,
they
it's
go.
already kind of ridiculous if you believe the rumors that like certain people can't come to Collision and other people don't want to show up to
Yeah,
Dynamite, and it's just like, come on, man. This
yeah,
is where I'm like, God, they need a Vince just to be like, I think a worker, you get the fuck out, kind of
yeah.
thing, you know?
Sort this shit out. We got business to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we should be making money off of this. This should have been Punk versus Omega this month. You know what I mean? Like,
if it was Vince McMahon, somebody would be.
You're fired.
You need that threat, you know. You need that threat at all times. Richie's on his way, by the way. He'll be here soon. But anyways, yeah. So that little bit of news coming out about that. Obviously, they've got another pay-per-view coming out in just a few days' time with All Out.
In days,
in literal days, with a couple of just a few TV shows in between.
If you like AEW, you lost $100 within a month.
Yeah,
within a week. Sorry,
I'm not personally spending another $50. I do not have billions of dollars like Tony Khan has. I work at a Publix. Look, Daddy's only got so much money in his budget for.
Yeah, be nice to Daddy. Be nice to your fans. Yeah, I even joked with you on the post media scrum. Like I feel like he even knows that's the kind of shit talk behind him because he was like, "Well, even if we make 0 pay-per-view buys, we're still gonna make money off of the gate." And I'm like, "Wouldn't you want both though? Like, what is it? Yeah, if you moved it a few weeks." I'm sure you would have had the same gate. I don't feel like anyone's like, oh, I got to do it. What is Memorial Weekend or something?
Labor Day weekend, yeah.
Labor Day weekend. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal that you had to run, Labor Day. Because it sounds like it's going to be a tradition. Unless this next pay-per-view doesn't do what he wants. He said he's pretty much going to do the same thing next year. They already announced Wembley for next year, and he's saying he wants to do All Out too.
The traditions can be broken over time. I mean, Survivor Series used to be on Thanksgiving every year. SummerSlam used to be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We'll see. Well, right now, he's all gung ho, but I'm just saying if they did make money, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to throw a fit if you push it back to the end of September as a new thing.
You should. I mean, the fact that we're days away now, we're 6 days away, and we don't know our world title. You know what I mean? Match what's the number one thing? The number one thing selling this pay per view is what? Hobbs and Mira, which is cool, but like Locha and Darby, which we've kind of seen to a degree, and I don't know.
It looks like a hype Dynamite as of right now. It
looks like an okay mid card, but there was nothing that's making me go, "Here's my $50." You know what I mean? That's my problem right now. Like I like Hobbs and Mira. That's a good mid card match, but
but your world champion just had his match, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Try to build?
What's the shoehorn there? And especially unless they're gonna jump to the Punk thing, but now can you jump to the Punk thing?
I mean, they already have a built-in history, but at the same time, we've seen that match, and you would want to build that, rekindling of that feud over time.
Something here. Well, I just figured that one made sense to me because, like you said, that one you don't have to do too much of a build. Like it would just make sense if it would kind of make sense anyway if they just did the very quickly like, let's settle this shit once and for all. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, like. Adam Cole rematch? Like, no, he kind of just straight up defeated him. So shouldn't be a rematch there. And who else are you just gonna shoehorn in?
Well, speaking of shoehorning in people.
Hello. All right.
I'm out.
All right. I went down the road, got my girlfriend coffee, and then I'm like, I got a hard out at 12, and then I'm like, shit.
Shit. No, we hadn't really jumped into review yet. We were talking some things coming out of the pay-per-view, some announcements. We got the stuff with the backstage CM Punk Jack Perry
the latest altercation.
Yeah, the latest of many altercations that seem to happen in AEW. And Jordan and I were talking about how they really need those veteran guys, Christopher Daniels, Jerry Lynn, to really rein this shit in and head this stuff off in the past. We're talking about that. We're talking about Tony Khan joking about, running All Out, a few days after and not caring about buy rates, even though you should care about buy rates and people actually spend money for your shows.
Yeah, eventually, you'll be like, you don't want to be like, go to All Out in a bit, maybe like next year, but why is the arena half full? That's a bull. Well, I
know Don Wembley will do good next year too, because that's smart about, not doing it again anytime soon, making it maybe a yearly thing, if not less,
No, I'm fine with them running Wembley again next year. I have no problem with that because they'll have time to build that up. It's a year from now. It could become an annual thing, and I'm fine with that. And people will make plans to go next year, seeing the success of this show, and how big it was. People will check it out. I don't have any problem with that. But, he needs to break this mindset of I have to run the first week of September, this other pay-per-view. Like, that's just silly. Like, you can break that, and nobody's going to pitch a fit. Like, you're
and was he talking about doing another pay-per-view in October, November? Is that was the issue?
Yeah, that's
that's settled in too. He mentioned it's the anniversary of it's the anniversary of Antonio Inoki's death. So he's Wrestle Dream, the debut of Wrestle Dream on the 1st, which kind of sounds like it's going to be maybe like a Forbidden Door 2 because it sounds like New Japan guys will come. And then from October 1st, they're still settled in on November 18th. So we got pay-per-views 4 months in a row.
Okay. And then there was like that rumor that like Warner wanted them to do like maybe like a WWE thing, like one pay-per-view a month. I'm like, I like that they had breaks in between. It kind of made them different. And then like, yeah, I don't know. I like how they've got longer to do it at pay-per-views. I don't one pay-per-view a month.
It made them special. Yeah, me and Pez were saying kind of off air. It did make it special. It made it where you could kind of build things. Also made Dynamite special too. You know, we were able to have big Dynamites, and I wonder if like our Dynamites and Collisions are going to be less cool now because they're going to. Well, we can't do 2 out of 3 falls with, Bullet Club and FDR. We got a pay-per-view at the end of the month. Why are we going to waste this? Let's just wait 2 weeks and do it there,
They've still got that. I think it would still behoove them to do that, like the Ash Stadium show, the annual Ash Stadium show that they do, once a year.
The Grand Slam show or whatever.
Grand Slam, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they will have occasions like that. I'm just wondering in general, like Dynamites. Yeah. There's been some bad and lackluster Dynamites and Collisions, but there's also been usually they're decent about having some really good stuff on there.
Yeah, and they still want to do like Fight for the Fallen and Fighter Fest, to donate stuff.
Well, yeah, but those aren't even true that big anymore. Like they're just kind of regular episodes with
subtitles.
This year's was a good example of that.
Like Fighter Fest and Fight for the Fallen. I don't even think one on the cards until that the Maui thing happened. It was like, oh well, we're not donating money, so we'll change it to a Fighter Fest. So
exactly. Yeah, it was announced pretty last second.
Yeah. So
so just a few little bits coming out after that. Obviously we'll see what happens. We'll talk about All Out at the end of the show when we start to get into some predictions for some things happening this weekend. We got two other shows coming up this weekend with both All Out and Payback. With the WWE, they're running their next premium live event. We can't call it pay-per-view, it's a premium live event on the cock. And but we'll get into it because there's a lot to talk about here with All In as we will get into our All In 2023 review here, like we said, from Wembley Stadium, the biggest show obviously they've ever run. There's no question about that. Supposedly about 81,000 paid tickets. A little bit of a dispute about how many people actually showed up to the stadium. There's some stuff tarped off, some empty seats here and there. But, for the most part, pretty full stadium. Still an impressive feat, nonetheless. I mean, regardless.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing I hated seeing on Twitter.
Just quibbles over, like
oh, my God. Oh, well, here's a picture of another event that was more full. Like, cool, fuck you. Like still be happy with that they did it. Like, here's an arena that hasn't been touched since 92 for wrestling. Like, if they drew 50 to 60, I would have been super happy.
That would have been impressive. And it's 30 or 40 would have been impressive.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, I'm just happy that they did it. It keeps wrestling alive. Like, to nitpick and like, oh, look at these tarps. Like, fuck you.
But the internet always likes to do that. Like, poor ticket sales here at AEW. Like, they always show the hard cam side. I'm like, they don't usually sell it. They don't.
They do that for WWE as well. There's a whole section they tarp out for the hard camera stuff.
They become such a new troll. Like, fuck off.
They do that every.
And there is some places in the U.S. that they haven't done that great, and then like, hey, that's just what it is. You got to find your market, see what works. That's why they fucking I think was it Chicago and
they go
Canada.
To Chicago
they seem to do a lot
10 times a year. Yeah,
right. I feel like Impact loves Canada. So hey, if you find a niche, do it.
but they don't do well in traditionally poor wrestling markets. So I like the Kentucky crowd, but it's it's not really it's not a go-to for WWE.
That's Chuck Taylor's problem, man. He should be drunk. Kentucky gentleman.
Yeah.
So we had a lot to get to on this show. But a big crowd, cool setup. Everything looked great. The production values were good. I felt like all the direction was pretty good on the show. That we'll talk about stuff like Stadium Stampede. I think they improved on some of the previous Anarchy in the Arena experiences and made it a little more comprehensible this time for the audiences. But we'll kind of get into it. We started out with the 0 hour pre-show, and they started out things with a pretty big match that I think a lot of people were curious as to what was actually going to happen.
Real quick before this, I completely missed it. Was there more to the 0 hour? There was a weird Grado Jeff Jarrett.
But I missed that.
But it was not.
I completely missed it.
It was not aired because I know for a fact I was on Bleacher Report when the stream started, the minute one.
It must have aired maybe in the UK or something, because I just saw a clip of it and it has a countdown and it says 105.
It was not on the official show that I saw on Bleacher Report. Okay. I watched the entire pre-show.
Every time I saw it said, 9 a.m. So I woke up at like 9:05 and I was like, let's see what's on.
No, I was right there waiting for the stream. The stream kicked on.
Yeah, I didn't know that even happened till like jumped that night or this morning.
No, we started with Renee and Kim, and then the first match about 10 minutes later. Yeah, I did not see any of that stuff with Paul White and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, Paul White no, not Hobbs. It's Paul White Ogogo. And Grado came out, and I guess they get hit with they hit Jared with the guitar. Is that what happens?
Yeah, but when that happened, I'm like, what? Am I being gaslit? I don't remember that being.
Yeah,
I don't remember that happening.
I don't know if it was just for the live crowd, and then they'll show the footage later. On YouTube or whatever. I don't know, but it was not on the pre-show I saw.
Well, like I said, it definitely aired somewhere. I saw like an edited hour 5 before the show, like AEW logo and everything. So it aired somewhere. I don't know where, but it aired somewhere. I'll be right back.
Very good. Not the pre-show I saw, but we started out the pre-show with a big match. We had MJF and Adam Cole defeating Aussie Open to become the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. In a match that a lot of people, including me, question why it was on the show, why you're risking your 2 main event guys risking injury, leading up to the show. But put that all aside. The crowd was super into MJF and Adam Cole and their shtick as they have been, really into their chemistry and whatnot. They ended up hitting the kangaroo kick and the double clothesline, baby, to win the titles. And I think sort of further, either complement or complicate the issues that we're talking about that may come out later. But they won this match and became the champions. So Richie, what do you think of this whole schmoz here at the beginning?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, obviously I'm surprised that they won, because I think everybody. I mean, I had Aussie Open winning, but just because I didn't think that they'd show up, that they would want to, that people, especially MJF, would want show up on Ring on TV. Maybe they lose the title and not show up, still not show up on the TV program. That could be a thing. I am surprised at how it was an okay match, but it was less competitive than I thought it was going to be. MJF and Adam Cole kind of won handedly. That was probably a way to keep them sort of fresh. You don't want to do a high spots match and risk injury, I guess. But it kind of made Aussie Open look I guess it's cool that they got a sort of high profile match here. But this wasn't as competitive as maybe I would have liked it to be. But it played into the story at the end of the match. I did like how there were Aussie Open chants, but I could tell that the people chanting Aussie Open were Australian. I could hear the accents coming through.
Oh yeah, no, there was at least some Australians in the crowd, pulling for them for sure. You could hear the oi oi ois, during the entrances and things like that, and there was definitely a contingent that was pulling for them. But you could tell the crowd is into the MJF Adam Cole stuff as silly as it is. Hey, silly stuff gets over in wrestling, the simple stuff gets over, and they hammered it in and it works. I thought this match was okay. It was more about the story, as we'll talk about, even with the main event, than kind of the actual spots, in the match. It was definitely a story match. Where do you go with Aussie Open from here? I don't know. I guess they just keep contending for, try to get back into the title picture. And do you put Adam Cole and MJF on Ring of Honor television regularly? I don't know. Or do they just show up for pay-per-views? Who knows where that actually goes? I had them winning just because I figured they would do it just for storyline purposes, and that's what they did. So I had them doing it because I was like, why else would you put them on the pre-show if they weren't going to win? That was my logic. You would have Aussie Open facing somebody else, some other team, just to get something on the pre-show. But I guess it did what it, and complicated things for later. So we went into our other match of the show in between all the video packages. Sorry, JPO.
Did you want to talk about this match, JPO?
Any thoughts on this one?
No, just real quick. They kept it kind of sweet and short. I think like you said, Pez, no one's going to risk getting hurt. Like you hinted at. No, I mean, it was fine. Like I said, pretty much kind of like even the main events world, it's just kind of went smooth. And hey, we got new tag champs. I wonder how long they'll have some fun with it. Like Richie joked, will they go to Ring of Honor television? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see, or will they only show it for pay-per-views? I don't know.
They're real.
Oh, they're real. That's good. Not like To Live and Die in LA counterfeits. All right, sounds good.
Hey, man, I never know.
But we went on to the FTW championship match. We had Hook defeating Jack Perry. JPO and I watched this live, and we were both still confused as to what FTW title match rules are. Or
correct us if we're wrong, Richie. You watch pretty much as I do. Maybe you have a better memory. Have they ever really established that FTW is no DQ? Because they kind of made it seem like, yeah, that's what it is. But I feel like there's been plenty of FTW matches that have just been.
Yeah, some matches are just normal matches. Yeah, so I don't know. But
like, it just seems like it is whatever you want it to be, kind of thing. I guess.
Is it like when House of Black do the 6-man where sometimes it's house rules, sometimes it's normal match? I don't know.
But they've also, at least they've kind of established that that's a House of Black thing where they're like, we fuck with the rules. That's at least the non-consistency has been established there. Yeah. The non-consistency is not here. Where I feel like
it's a lot like the vagaries of like Ravens rules. What does that mean? I don't know.
What does that mean?
Whatever.
Yeah, because I was not expecting this to be what it was. I'm not in a bad way. Like, this was fun. Actually, it might have been more fun than if it was just a one-on-one match. Because I think Hook's still kind of getting there, but I just wasn't expecting this because I didn't know that's what this was.
Was it so that they could do the glass spot and so that Jack Perry could look right in the camera and do a CM Punk jab?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, which just makes you look petty. That doesn't make you look bad. It makes you look petty. The spot was cool, but
no, I mean all the stuff they did on the car was cool. He did like a rolling thunder on the car, like that was fun.
Yeah.
The glass. I mean, JPO and I did. Joke about, it's probably not wise to mess with real car glass, i.e. Goldberg, and what happened to him, how glass can be pretty dangerous. Although modern car windshield glass is actually less dangerous to roll off of. It's actually pretty safe. Most of them can take a full-on rock, and stop and it won't break, that sort of thing. So it's gotten a little more sophisticated over the years. Yeah, your car windshield will not shatter immediately if you try to kick it, as you saw in Pineapple Express. You'll kick your foot right through it to get a movie reference. But this was fun. They brought back to the ring, do a couple of spots, and Hook chokes him out with the Taz mission.
And luckily, Hook won, so that way we don't have to vacate the title.
You're right.
I mean, if you're going to vacate the title, you might as well just get rid of the title if you had to do that. Because
I think that's maybe why I went with Perry, because I kind of thought it was time just to kill the title.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, I mean, you could say what you will about, like, maybe CM Punk's like self-opposed role as like locker room leader or whatever.
Self-opposed is the key word.
Self-opposed.
No one asked him.
Self-opposed, and then like his ego or whatever. I mean, I'm sure rubbing it the wrong way. I'm sure he's not. There's probably a big part of him that's prick. I don't know, but like, if the whole argument stems from like, hey, don't don't use glass. That's dangerous. And apparently, like Tony Schiavone, or if you read it, Tony Schiavone was like, yeah, maybe don't do it. He probably has a point.
Well, Tony Schiavone probably remembers what happened to Goldberg when he smashed a car window with his arm. He was on WCW when that happened, and watched you sit out of a TV for 6 months. It's like doing stuff on the hood of the car, the roof of the car, whatever. It's still that's pretty relatively safe. You're gonna be all right. But yeah, actually messing with glass can be a little. The glass is just unpredictable, as we saw. I mean, they had cuts on their backs and stuff from and their arms from the glass. It wasn't not dangerous. I mean, it could have been worse. I mean, I'm surprised it wasn't worse than what it was. A couple of spots here and there. But yeah, I mean, it was a serviceable match. To blow up this thing, I think it was right putting this on the pre-show. It didn't need to be on the main show, but it was fun enough. For what it was. So, we'll see where Jack Perry goes from here, or if he'll be for a while.
Can he? Can he go anywhere
for a little while? Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Like I said, I'm very interested to see if we see Perry on Wednesday and Punk on Saturday. And get a hint.
Yeah, we'll see. But we got started with the official show after the pre-show. We kicked things off. With something JPO predicted correctly.
Points. Can we stop here with the points?
Yeah, right. But we had our opener CM for the real world title. CM Punk defeating Samoa Joe here. A much shorter match than I think most people predicted. Only went 16, 17 minutes. Wasn't a very long.
No, this is 14, maybe
14. Wow, even quicker than I thought it was. I thought it was around 15.
Quicker than here. Let me look.
Yes, but very, very quick match. No 30-minute matches here.
Shorter than their collision match. The collision was 16.
Yeah. So, and a lot of very sort of gimmicky stuff in here. We had Hulk Hogan spots and Samoa Joe Samoaning up, halfway through the match. But we did have the cool spot where Joe threw him into the announce table, the front, whatever that thing was, the front of that stuff, that apparently just tore him to shreds. JPO just completely ripped open from that banner.
Yeah, that cardboard really cut him nice.
Oh man, cardboard cuts are a bitch, I'll tell you, man. As a guy who works with cardboard all day.
Yeah, and it was just mysteriously repaired the next match. They
had a backup. You gotta have backups, you gotta have backup announce table.
I would actually argue in the world of wrestling, if it were legit, you would be like, listen, these fuckers are gonna destroy this table sooner or later, right? There's at least a chance.
We gotta have another one ready to go.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1.
I'll buy the bit of extra. Oh well, I mean,
I'll buy that for $1.
Well, speaking of,
I'd buy that for $1.
There we go.
Ready to go. I have to pull it up. I have a laundry list of shit on here.
I know.
It's where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I know. I mean, but still a pretty fun match over. You can tell these guys. Yeah, I think we're definitely having fun. They have chemistry with each other. I think they wanted to go out and just have kind of a silly, goofy match, not really kill each other, like they've done in previous matches.
And because they are the vets, maybe they honestly, instead of everyone else that wants to do everything, get their shit in, they might have been like, hey, we're the opener. We're not the show-stealing 30-minute match. Let's do a nice, tight 15.
Let's go out here.
I could see them thinking that, unlike everyone else.
We'll pop the crowd. We'll, get the crowd into it with simple.
Because it wasn't bad. I had a good amount of fun.
No, it was very old school. I like it.
Is this the clinic Joe v Punk 2 from Ring of Honor? No, but it's a fun opener. I had a good time with it.
No, I think they knew their slot when they found out they were the opener. It's let's go out and just have a 15-minute fun little match. Let's pop the crowd, not kill each other, to where we walk away with injuries. We'll walk away having a great experience. We can walk out of this thing no problem. And everything.
And supposedly, CM Punk walked out of the building. If we were
you sure did. Walked right out of the building.
Yeah, I actually love this match. I thought it was really good. I think it was pretty simple. Yeah, it's not the hypes of their obviously Ring of Honor match, but I don't think they're trying to. But yeah, I liked all the spots here. It was very simple. Samoa Joe is hard to boo, even if he's a bit, a heel. He's just so cool. I like how he's playing with the crowd and going, "Oh there. That was cool." And I like those homage to Terry Funk with the spinning heel, the spinning heel hook there.
Yes.
Even the Punk in the ropes, constantly, kind of wheeled around.
The
is very Punk
over and over again.
It's
very silly. Yeah, I mean, again, safe stuff that's silly, but fun.
Well, I'm saying it's very Funk too. Funk will that a lot later in his later matches.
I mean, I enjoyed the sort of the callback. I like how he won with the Pepsi plunge. That's kind of cool. I really like this match. I think it's simple but really effective, and they work really well together. And I think again, Samoa Joe is obviously getting older. He's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still.
That's true for both of them. Yeah, no,
but he can still go. He can still put on a really good match, and he's still very charismatic. And and he just brings this intensity that I just sort of you gravitate to. He's one of my favorite wrestlers.
And that's why my only.
What was the first match you got, JB? Literally 20 years ago, their first match, something like that, or close to it.
So if you want to get super nerdy, which I can, there's a singles match even before the hour one, so 03. So you're at the 20-year mark.
Yeah, no, these guys have been wrestling for 20 years. It's kind of nuts to think about. So I mean, they did their thing, and it was a good time. It was a good opening.
I just wish Joe won. I wish they'd even it up because I love Joe too, and I was damn, he should even it up. But now with this world bullshit, and I like Punk too. I'm not saying I'm upset, but I just feel like Joe's so good that damn man, losing 2-0.
I do find it ironic because if
don't you think?
No, because I think reportedly they were going to go with CM Punk MJF before CM Punk got hurt and then suspended because of the thing. And then it'd be funny if they were going to go that route again, but CM Punk got suspended again. So like maybe CM Punk and MJF is just not meant to be.
Yeah, the curse match.
We went on to our first. We've already got 2 of our one-on-one matches, and it was kind of a lot of multi-man stuff from there until our main event. Our first many sort of multi-man matches. Our first
was it 3 singles? Yeah, once you get out of the
because we already had Hook and Jack Perry, Punk and Joe. Yeah, that's 2 out of the 3, and and we had to wait a little while for another one.
I mean, it's no way of doing it math-wise.
Yeah, but we went to our first trios match of the night. We had, actually, I think the result that most of us did not predict. Bullet Club Gold going over on the Elite here. Takeshita getting the quick roll-up on Kenny Omega, and we'll talk about it later, but I think they pretty much confirmed that they're going to have a singles match.
Yeah. Oh, no, they 100% confirmed it. Oh,
yeah. I saw the graphic on their Facebook page. It's confirmed.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the graphic ready later, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But no, that was the one. That was the one thing I predicted because I was like, all right, they're definitely setting that up, and that's I think it's a pay-per-view worthy match as well, a good mid-card pay-per-view match. So,
no, that'll be a good match. Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to slide right into that. So, which I guess does make sense. Why give Takeshi the nice kind of big upset win, give Omega a reason to fight him, and also Juice and Jake probably need a good win too. So, in retrospect, I'm happy with the outcome.
Yeah,
the match was good too.
Yeah, match was solid. A lot of spots. I thought it took a little while to kind of really get going, but I think once they did, it got pretty intense pretty quick. Yeah, Hangman Page I thought was really great in this match. He had some real good fire.
Yeah, this is a 20-minute match.
Yeah, the constant dives back and forth and all that. Kenny obviously hitting a ton of V triggers at the end was a lot of fun. Some good stuff overall, and I thought everybody looked pretty good here. This is where JPO and I were commenting. Jim Ross tonight, my God, God bless him.
Oh my God, he was a curmudgeon. I'm like,
he was old man Boomer tonight. Oh my God,
your job, right? Okay, you can say whatever you can complain whatever you want on your podcast, whatever. That's on you. But your job as a commentator, it should be put over modern wrestling, put over the wrestling. So when you're whinging like, what's with all this golden stuff? Like, shut up.
And then Excalibur just calling, being like, because he's the golden. Just calmly
trying to in the nicest way,
trying to correct him. He called, the first thing I caught was, and I said this to JPO, he called Kota Ibushi. Anybody he doesn't know is not familiar with. He calls him a great young athlete, and Kota Ibushi.
About the young athlete, 39-year-old Kota Ibushi.
41.
Holy shit! Yeah,
he's in his 40s. No, I mean,
I'll forgive Jim for that because credit to Kota. You look young as shit.
So. Oh no, he looks great. I'm just saying, it's
and he's not familiar with him. Probably.
Anybody he's not familiar with is a great young new athlete.
I will say on the side note with Kota too, I don't think they've done a great job making him feel I don't know. He's not really stood out to me in these 2 matches that we've seen him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I took more than anyone else.
There was a cool moment where I think he saved a spot where it showed how good I think it was because he went for a moonsault and he slipped, but then he caught himself in the middle rope and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, he hasn't looked bad either. I just feel like for a guy that has only had 2 matches and they're both really high profile matches, I don't necessarily walk out of it going holy shit, give me more of that Kota. You know what I mean?
We'll get to it as well, but Jay had a very awkward moment as well. I think when talking about Freddie Mercury.
The Freddie Mercury thing, he talked about the armbands being new gear. It was just a tribute armbands to Briscoe, Brody, and Bray. That's all it was.
But then he was like, "Oh, Freddie Mercury." What I think he was joking, but I didn't think he was joking at the time too, but he was. And then Excalibur didn't take it. He's like, "Oh, Freddie Mercury, where is he today? Where is he these days?" And then
dead.
Excalibur's like, "Oh, he passed away." He's like, "Yeah, I'm like, what? Why even say that?"
And you know what? Hey man, love and respect. I don't know why I meant like he's dead. Love and respect to JR, but I think there's a reason why they're like, look who's here for a match or 2. Okay, you can go.
Yeah, I mean, no, it goes without saying. I mean, we love JR's the GOAT.
Yeah, I was excited when they hired him at first.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest. I'm glad he's a part of the company. But they've got way more capable and knowledgeable and announcers on their roster. A ton of them, by the way. A lot of really good announcers.
Someone remind me of Freddie Mercury. What?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Excalibur. You got Taz. You got Tony Schiavone, who's still great.
What's that Robo on?
Yeah, Nigel was awesome on the show. Ian Riccaboni. I mean, Kevin Kelly. I mean, you got great announcers wrestlers that are still on top of their game, and I just don't think you need him. Again, no disrespect to him at all. If you want him as a part of the company as like a talent scout to give advice, to be that veteran guy, again, to be that voice within the company, to be an ambassador for the company, like no problem at all. I'm all for it. But yeah, I just think it's time to like get him off the announce desk like permanently. Like I think his best things are behind him.
Son of a bitch.
He's not JR of 2001. He's not anymore.
He's not JR of 2017.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. And you have so much talent on the thing. Yeah, again, when it was like Excalibur and like Nigel and like it was great. Like all those guys were awesome. Tony Schiavone, like all those guys are great. And yeah, I think you've done that. It was very distracting.
I'm not always sold on Schiavone either, to be honest with you. I think he gets lost in 3-man boots. I feel like Excalibur takes over, Taz takes over his color, and then Schiavone's just like,
but at least he's still
that's good,
relevant and competent. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't sound like an old man. Like on commentary, he appreciates stuff.
And I think Tony Schiavone. I mean, not that I think JR like still does have a sense of humor like that, but it shined more back in the day. But like at least with when like Excalibur and Taz, especially Excalibur and Taz, because they're such good chemistry, and Nigel McGuinness was really funny. But when they're kind of making jokes, like Tony Schiavone can keep up, and he does say some kind of funny things.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I think Tony. I think also though, I think Tony's really found his role. Like I'm glad they've used him mostly as like an interview guy because he still shines at that. And
that's what I was gonna say.
He's great at that.
That's kind of where I think he
shines. Yeah, for sure. And you can still bring him in for the Sting matches and for a match here and there. But yeah, I think transitioning more to the Excalibur, Nigel, Taz kind of combination, like I think that's where the sweet spot is. And then Ian Riccaboni with whoever, Kevin Kelly or Nigel or whoever, I think works. So yeah, I mean we'll see what happens going forward. I think there was enough of an internet people talking about it that Tony might do something about it in the future. I don't know. He listens, so I mean he sees the chatter, I think, online, and there was quite a bit of it for starting with this match. But we're getting away from the subject. I know that this match was good. It's not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, it was a trios match.
I think it took the air out of the crowd a little bit that that Takeshita won with a roll up of all things. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the most dangerous move.
It's the most dangerous move in wrestling, though. That roll up.
I will say, I mean, I don't want them to get too, but if you look across all the TV shows lately, that they are sort of that they're kind of falling, not previous sort of years, but they are really liking the roll-up finish a lot lately on AEW TV. And I'm like, I hope you don't overdo that. It's good for sometimes, and it worked. I mean, it worked later on. We'll see. It definitely works later on. But yeah, sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, it's like roll-up finish. If you spam roll-up finishes too much, like WWE did at one point, it's like, oh okay, yes, yeah. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like when you spam like especially a roll-up finish, which is like really, it's like people can't kick out of that all the time. Like it's like the most dangerous move. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the most dangerous move in wrestling. The roll up,
By God, he used the backslide.
He rolled him up. Yeah, we got to moving on to a pretty anticipated matchup here. We had the Young Bucks and FTR for the AEW Tag Team titles. Yeah, I think a match that felt like a lot of it was, especially in the middle, kind of called in the ring on the fly. I felt like they got lost a little bit in the middle here, where they were losing the crowd, where there was like 100 standing switches into suplexes for like 10 minutes in the middle of this match, where I think we were just kind of like, and the whole time I was just like, where's Cash? Where the hell is Cash? He just disappeared for this match for 10 minutes. It was just Dax fighting the Bucks by himself valiantly against these two Bucks. But yeah, overall, I think they brought it back together. There was some good spots here. Maybe a little underwhelming overall. It didn't have the same, some of those Briscoes matches and even some of their previous matches, but still a good match overall. I think that the crowd got into eventually, and a little bit surprising. I thought the Bucks might go over here, but I'm happy to see FTR go over.
This one trumped most of us, I feel, right? As far as
I think most of us had Bucks on this one, over FTR. Yeah. But yeah,
we're such marks. We bonded the dirt sheets. We're like those goddamn Bucks, and
they're gonna put themselves over
in trouble.
Yeah. I think we bought into that. But give me your thoughts on this match, you guys. Sure.
Yeah, I don't think got to the level of their previous encounters, even the one on like Dynamite. But like, yeah, it was still good. They're still very, yeah, there was a bit iffy in the middle there, but they're still like two of the best sort of tag teams working. You know, and I think, yeah, they still got great chemistry. Obviously, with the ending that I think they're destined to fight to wrestle for as long as they're both in the company. Or even beyond that. So yeah, as long as their careers last. So yeah, it's really good. But yeah, maybe a bit underwhelming because we had such high expectations. But like, you know, I yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, like everybody like trying out, you know, different sort of their different finishes here. Yeah, yeah, no, and it was really good. There was a sign in the crowd. I'm glad I think glad I didn't accidentally full on pants, but like they did on Dynamite one time where they panned to a guy saying book women wrestling better or whatever. No, there was one sign I noticed in the crowd where it was like FTR, fear the revolver. to referencing referencing Cash Baldus.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, no, but yeah, it was a really good match. But yeah, I'm kind of happy FTR still going. They're still the tag champions. You know, you just know Young Bucks will get tag titles eventually. But yeah, but yeah, hopefully before it goes back to Young Bucks, maybe another team gets run at it. But yeah, so no, I thought this match was alright. They were pretty good. But yeah, we have high standards for it. But yeah, if it wasn't for the other two matches, like this match is still like you know really good. I think we've been spoiled. So
yeah, for sure. JPO, any thoughts on this one?
No, it's kind of the same lines of you guys here. Like, good. I don't think there's a bad match on this card, to be honest with you here. And yeah, I think this added to it here. Not underwhelming by any means. Maybe yeah, it's right that it's never got to that next level where I don't think it's necessarily gonna, you know, make a match of the year list to a degree. But no, but I liked it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good stuff overall. Again, yeah, like you said, a collection of really good matches. I don't think there was a bad match on the show. Like I don't think there was a single dud.
No, man, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, no, everything was good. That's a sign of a good pay per view. At least even the matches that are a little underwhelming, still good, still watchable, still really solid. So yeah, we had what ended up and to JPO's surprise, I thought was probably ended up being my favorite match on the show.
I know,
yeah. To my own surprise, given how much I have not enjoyed these Anarchy in the Arena, type matches, and I think all of us were still wondering just like how it was going to work, since it wasn't going to be pre-taped, what they were actually going to do. It felt more like an Anarchy in the Arena match, more so than a.
Yeah, that's I guess if I had to criticize it a little tiny bit, is it's like they didn't really go outside they didn't really fight it in the arena much. It was more in the ring. I mean, or that maybe the outs,
on the stage.
Maybe
a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, we did have, again, I alluded to this earlier, but I'll give him props for when you did have the stuff with like Claudio and Wheeler and Eddie and those guys like fighting up in the rafters and things like that. They did a split screen, which I appreciated. So, you could watch one on one side and watch, the other guys in the ring on the other side. So I think they learned from that yes, split screens are good, people. You can use them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Show what's going on instead of just cutting back and forth randomly, to each one. And I know it's a lot to follow, but I did feel like it was a little more controlled because you had them doing that, but then everybody else was kind of stuck to mostly the ring. Then everybody kind of converged on the stage at one point, did some stuff around the stage, and then we kind of moved back to the ring, to the finale. I think they've learned from some of those anarchies, as we saw in that second Anarchy in the Arena, where it was a little less chaotic, or they kind of had some stuff around the arena, but everything kind of came together at the ring at the end. I think that's the way to go. But yeah, some crazy stuff. Overall, we said all that brawling we had up there was good, with a lot of use of an umbrella, surprisingly for
the umbrella had a good amount of screen time.
Yeah, a whole lot of umbrella.
If he wasn't cancelled, I thought maybe like there'd be a chance to like maybe Mighty Scroll to make an appearance. Just like holding an umbrella.
Oh yeah, no, maybe. Yeah, come out of nowhere.
I think Adonis member had an umbrella and they just used the umbrella.
They just used it. Yeah, it was right there.
Marty Scroll though is returning to AAA soon, so he's still around.
Okay. Yeah. We had some stuff on the stage. We had Sue showing up in her minivan. Apparently, she drove across the ocean.
And she drove across water.
Yeah, she drove across the water. She's got an aquatic vehicle, man. She's got one of those convertible, aquatic vehicles. Yeah, she drove across the ocean. But yeah, we had something JPO and I agreed was a little silly with Penta coming out in his red outfit.
I'd forgotten that he got taken out of the match. I totally forgot he wasn't there. And then
I don't think what did take him out too, because I didn't feel like that's one of my many problems. I don't feel like it wasn't that impactful for me.
It was just like it was like a brain buster through an open chair in the ring or something like that. But then that was in the ring. So how did he end up back in the back? Did he just walk back there and he run away?
Maybe that's why, because like that is a good move, but at the same time, like I don't think that he ever showed him getting carded. So I just remember thinking like, oh, I didn't like really even like, miss him.
We'll get to that too. There's another person they do that too.
Eddie disappears for a minute. But just hold on. Going back to Penta though, like we were just saying, like, I just think it's kind of I don't mind like the Fiend who comes out as the Fiend or like the Finn Balor's demon when he is a demon. Yeah. It just felt funny that he like went backstage and was like, "Where's my red gear?" Now I'm pissed. Did one move they would have just done in his black gear anyway. And I also don't feel like they've done a good job establishing that this is like his alter ego too. It's another thing going back
alter ego where he changes. Changes.
I definitely feel like people in the audience were like, "Why did they play his fucking music again?" Like, I don't think they sold it. Yeah, I don't feel like they've sold that enough that like this is his like evil pissed off side or whatever.
It's his Akuma to his Ryu.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like Liger had a version. Like you got Finn Balor. You know what I mean? But like, I don't feel like they've sold us that enough.
You've got, you've only seen it once, but you've got like, Danhausen's got like evil Danhausen.
Right.
Like, so, and it's easily distinguishable because like evil Danhausen has the teeth and he wins matches. But this is weird. And then like they do a ladder spot, the ladder breaks. You're like, oh shit!
Jesus Christ! Yeah, don't die. The ladder collapsed. Yeah, but he still somehow got back up there and did the Canadian Destroyer. I was like, how the hell did that thing hold for him to do it? He's like, I don't know. Can do it.
That was one time where I wanted the dual screen because they kind of cut away from it and then go back to him finally with the impact.
Yeah. So that was scary. Probably the gnarliest spot of the match. Obviously, the pictures got around. The bamboo skewers into John Moxley's head was disgusting. Penta
I saw that before I even saw the full match.
And that was gross. And definitely a Moxley spot where it's like, how am I gonna get blood in this one? No, just for real, just pound these bamboo skewers into my skull and then I'll bleed everywhere. Okay, sounds good.
Truth be told, Richie, I might have passed out on this match.
Well, JPO was passed out for a lot of this show while we were watching it.
I'd say half and half, sir. I'd say half.
For half of the show, you were passed out for sure.
That's why I wanted you to correct.
Let's just say I had to mute you for quite a bit of the show.
No. When you told me I missed Stadium Stampede, I was like, bullshit at first.
You missed all of Stadium Stampede.
Because I at least was like, this is what I normally would do. I'd be like, oh, Saraya. Oh, Jericho's out. But I saw zero entrances, zero of the match, zero outro. I just was like, Stampede happened again?
Were you able to go back and
yes, I totally went back legally and watched it. Yes. But I did see it. Yes. I think you might have wink, wink.
All right. But and obviously, the no.
I'll take some coffee, baby.
And then obviously speaking of glass before, obviously you had Orange Cassidy with taping up his fist, and then
that's a cool gnarly finish.
Like before that, Eddie Kingston comes out, and you're like, I forgot that I was distracted because I was like, where the fuck did Eddie Kingston go? Where did Eddie Kingston go?
That we think we do miss. They say it on commentary, like, did they hit him with the bottle? But we missed it, I'm pretty sure.
We missed it, and then he just comes out with a chair. I'm like, why were you gone for so long then if you just come out with a chair? And then like Orange Cassidy like wraps up his fist, and then with glass, and then it's Orange Punch on Claudio, and they go, oh, if Orange Cassidy can get past Penta on Dynamite, he faces John Moxley at all out. So he's facing John Moxley at all out because obviously that's happening.
We'll get to it later, but I'm pretty cocky and confident that it's going to be Moxley and Cassidy.
But it was a good match. It was a really good match. But it wasn't really Stadium Stampede. It was like an amalgamation of Stadium Stampede and Anarchy in the Arena.
What is the difference though? What are you? Is it?
And in the arena, sort of like just more what we got. I think for like Stadium Stampede, they go more backstage, and you might kind of see maybe get more cameos and stuff. I don't know. I feel like Stadium Stampede was more effective in the pandemic.
Right? Yeah, that's probably my favorite one. Is the first one because they were able to pre-tape it, have some wacky moments, have it where it's congruent. You know what I mean? You never miss shit because it was pre-taped. Yeah. Oh, another weird side note. Maybe it's just my weirdness, but anyone else notice that for the first time ever, they kept calling him Mike Santana?
No, I was about to mention that. Yeah, they call him Mike Santana. Yeah. I'm like, is that his name now, Mike Santana?
Yeah, and I've known that's his shoot name for a while. I feel like I knew that for whatever reason, but yeah, they've never called him Mike before, and they called him that several times. But yet Ortiz doesn't have a first name. So I thought that was weird. I thought, like, oh, maybe they're gonna call him Angel because his name is Angel Ortiz. Yeah, and but no, I don't know. Yeah. And there's still rumors of whether or not they're even like getting along.
Apparently Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston still don't like each other. I mean, Eddie Kingston and Ortiz like each other, but yeah, like he's on their side, and Santana, doesn't. But they've agreed to work with each other.
Still wondering when they're going to pull the trigger on this singles match between Claudio and Eddie. Like when they're actually going to do that.
Didn't it happen in Ring of Honor? I thought it happened already.
It didn't because Eddie then had New Japan commitments, and then
okay.
Then I was
I mean, I was gonna say, like, honestly, fucking, that's another thing that I was actually gonna say. You could do that Sunday, Saturday or whatever Sunday.
Yeah, he had New Japan commitments, and then it was meant to be Mark Briscoe. Then he got injured, so then it went to Park, and then Park got injured in the match because otherwise Park would definitely be on the show because obviously.
Yeah, people getting hurt, man. No, I mean, speaking of people that would have been in this match, I mean, what is it? Phoenix had issues, but then like Danielson would have been in this, I'm sure.
Yeah. So crazy chaos, but it was fun chaos, and I think an improvement, probably the best of those sort of big anarchy matches, at least in my opinion. Yeah, good stuff. Crowd got into it. But yeah, and then we brought the ladies out for the only women's match on the show.
Which someone called them out on that on the press conference. They're like, "Hey, we know we only had one women's match, and for a future, maybe more." He did kind of dance around. He was like, we got a lot of great people on the roster, a lot of great men, a lot of great women. I did as much as I could. Hey, next one.
I like women. I talk to them sometime.
Yeah.
And in fact, let me just double check here, but I feel like maybe the shortest.
Oh,
right?
Like, listen, Tony.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, this is less than 9. The 6-man with that we'll talk later is with the trio titles is less than 11. So this is the shortest match.
Okay, this match I felt was a lot of. It was good, but it was a lot of story stuff, more so than like a lot of work. Yeah, just a lot of angles.
It's not match of the year, but I liked it. But it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not your work rate match. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of angles. Yeah, we had a Ruby Soho come out and get hit by Tony. I mean, so obviously some dissension amongst the outsiders. And maybe a little bit of a surprising result, but at the same time, had I known she was going to come out with the fighting with my family crew, I might have picked her. I was
going to say, my first note is, if you had any doubt Soraya's winning, you don't after that entrance. I mean, 9 of her family members. She's got not the custom music, but the paid for music. Fucking rock you. Like,
Queen music.
Yeah. Baby face pop.
Tony Khan spent a lot of money on paid for music.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, so I'm just saying. Oh, another weird thing too is like, who was the random security guard Eddie Kingston attacked? That was weird.
I don't know,
and he really oversold it too.
Because this is my thought. Probably, but because of my thought process, because I didn't see Eddie Kingston the whole time and I missed that spot, I thought maybe that was a legit security guard and he got kicked out.
Yeah, no, Kingston's not that fucking nuts, and like, no, that dude definitely sold it. Like, he was like, "It's my camera time, baby."
Okay, but yeah,
I was already with this match.
But yeah, like, it is weird. Like, Saraya comes out to "We Will Rock You," which is cool. But I think I was listening to Brian Zane talk about this too. It's like, I love Freddie Mercury, I love Queen, but there's so much awesome rock stars that came out of UK. There's more than Queen, guys. You could have mentioned. I don't know.
It's the Clash. There's the Beatles.
Because this is not even. They made multiple Queen references.
Rolling Stones.
It's not even the last Queen reference we'll get.
I think it was just because and Nigel. It's just because of the famous the Live Aid at Wembley. The Live Aid '85 at Wembley. I think that was the main thing they just kept referring.
Yeah, Richie.
big thing. Another movie. Bohemian Rhapsody. That's the climax of that movie. So I think that was mainly the thing. Is he kind of
okay?
Mostly.
I feel bad for Sheeta. She's really good, but she's sort of more of a like transitional champion here. And Sheeta and Britt Baker are kind of bit players in this match. It was mainly an angle between Saraya and Toni Storm. Yeah, I love Toni Storm's new character. By the way, I've said it before.
I do too.
Where she's like sort of a posh sort of like very.
She's shining. Her personality is shining now.
Yeah. And then she throws her shoes at the. She throws shoes at the interviewers. It's really funny. Obviously the turn sort of came when Toni Storm accidentally punched Soraya's mom, and then we get the Saraya comes in later on. You think she's going to spray someone else, but she sprays Toni in the eyes with spray paint or whatever it is, and then hits the what they call. I think it's got a name for the move now. It used to be called the Rampage, but it's like the Nightcap or something. It's a win. But I didn't think the crowd was like. It was weird because like during the match, I thought the crowd would be way more over for like Saraya. That they were kind of more in the camp of Sheeta and Britt Baker, but when Saraya won, they went crazy.
I think because again they didn't expect her to win, and then she won. Yeah, and it's like
When she is technically a heel coming up into this, she had kind of a big face intro.
Yeah, but Ospreay technically was I guess he didn't wrestle like a
hey,
but it's the hometown thing. You act like a baby face in the hometown. Most of them do. Yeah. So I don't know, but it's still a decent match overall. Then we moved on to we had a coffin match, Sting and Darby Allin defeating Swerve and Christian Cage. Sting. I sort of half woke up JPO by going Joker Sting, JPO Joker Sting.
And I looked at it, I was like, that's cool, bro.
He's back out again.
And I saw nothing.
Sting doing a little Joker Sting here, bringing a little throwback to that, and they even acknowledged it on commentary. Nigel called him Joker at one point, so that was fun. They have this coffin match. Sting, doing his thing, picking his spots. Of course, Darby Allin damn near killing himself all over the place, doing a coffin drop on the coffin, damn near killing himself, just splatting on that thing and denting it, put a nice big dent in that thing. I thought Christian Cage looked good in this match. Like I thought he was actually very, very good. And a lot of his stuff, Swerve was good. Some solid stuff overall. Fun little finish with them finally polishing off Swerve, and all of the collective internet also going, his dreads were still out of the coffin.
That's another thing I keep seeing. I've seen pictures of his dreads a lot in the last night.
Yeah, people were like, it doesn't count. His hair wasn't all the way in the coffin. That was funny though. I appreciated that. But no, they're able. I think most of us predicted Sting and Darby would take this one. But you guys' thoughts on this? I thought it was still a fun little match. I think everybody kind of played their roles.
Yeah, man. I mean, give credit to everybody that's in this. Even like Christian's having a good run. Like him and was it the Darby singles match? I thought it was pretty good. More than I thought it was going to be. How like as far as like how like brutal and whatnot it was. So Christian's still going at it. Sting, some of his spots again didn't almost work, but
elbow drop to the table.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, but like a true veteran, it's like it didn't work. So what? Just do it again and just throw your whole body on top of him and break the whole thing. That's what he did. Hey, he's a pro. He's a pro. He knows what's up.
It's the match that we kind of thought
could smell what he was cooking. They knew what was up. It's all good. Yeah, they forgive him. He's Sting. He's doing his thing.
And he had the appearance by the rest of the crew too. I was his face. Nick came out there, took that weird like kind of cool skateboard spot.
Oh yeah, no, I think they wanted it to break, but it didn't. Strong ass skateboard.
In a way, man. It's as they say. Sometimes it looks almost gnarlier when it doesn't break, and it's just like,
oh no, so he just bounced right off of that damn thing. Yeah, for sure. Sting doing the Scorpion death drop on top of the coffin was cool. To kind of put away Swerve a little bit. That was fun. I thought everybody kind of played their role just right here. But Richard, what do you got?
Yeah, I guess this kind of sort of confirms to me. I guess AR Fox might have been taken out of the match because of some visa issue. Because it would have made sense for AR Fox to kind of interfere in this match at least.
Yeah, we only had Nick Wayne. I thought I kept waiting for AR Fox to come out at some point with Nick or something. Yeah.
But and Nigel got me really got me really good on commentary because he keeps talking about Christian being the father of the year, and he's like, "Oh yeah, she even got he got his daughter a plane ticket here." It's like, "Oh, where is she?" It's like, "Oh, there's layovers and stuff. Apparently she should be here by Monday." I laughed very hard. I'm like, "I love you, Nigel."
Listen, she had to make some stops and all over Europe, and she had to get here eventually. Nigel's got that funny heel commentary where it's smart. It's a throwback to just the smart heels of the past, doing commentary where he's funny, kind of like Bobby the Brain, but it's like, but he's clever. Yeah, I like him. He rides the line pretty well. Well, still have respect for the wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought Christian worked really well. I really love his heel stuff. Just like just going through the lowest common denominator thing. Like obviously at was it Collision or Dynamite where it's like, oh, Nick Wayne, I noticed your dad's dead. I'm just going to mention about your dad.
I know this coffin match is going to bring up bad memories of your dad being in one himself, a year ago or whatever. Like,
it's like, oh man.
But I will say at the live show, the people all around me were like, "This is the greatest gimmick going in AEW right now." With just anybody that has a dead dad at some point, no matter when they died, even if they just died of old age, you know what I mean? At 90 years old, it's like your dad's dead. Just like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's pretty damn funny.
If I had like one little nitpick, it was just like, I think again, it was like, so Luchasaurus makes a save at one point, but like he comes out with Christian, so I'm like, why don't you just stay out there?
Yeah.
And especially if it's Coffin, like you would think, like, why wouldn't Christian and Swerve just be like, cool, handicap, like, fun, no nonsense, no DQ nonsense.
Yeah, step in and help him, thus bringing out Nick Wayne, or whoever to kind of even the odds. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. But yeah, still, yeah, fun stuff overall. I think crowd got pretty into it. Crowd was great, by the way, at this whole show. I think they got into but everything. Crowd was good. They stayed up for most of the show. So good stuff overall. We then had a match. Yeah, we didn't know how it was going to go, but I think pretty successful overall. We had Will Ospreay taking down Chris Jericho. I think Chris Jericho held his own here. Obviously it wasn't like an all-timer like an Ospreay Kenny Omega type match or Ospreay Okada or anything like that. But you're working with Jericho. But I think Jericho still proved that he can still work a smart match while letting Ospreay do his crazy stuff, to him and things like that, and still working as a smart veteran. But yeah, Ospreay got the win over him, and then they kind of played this stuff near the end where Jericho was very dejected, like, maybe they're going to play with, maybe I can't, hang with the young guys anymore. I'm getting past my time, to do my thing, because him and Sammy tried to kind of raise his hand and acknowledge him, and he's kind of doing this thing. So we'll see where those go in promos going forward, if they're going to play that he's not doesn't think maybe he can't hang in those main event matches anymore. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, everybody looked good here. Ospreay getting the big win in England, and what I thought was a pretty damn solid match and one of the better matches on the show. So Richie, what'd you think of this one?
Yeah, I thought it was really good, and like again, I think Jericho, like Christian, should have no business being as good as he is at his age. But like, they're still really good. And they can hang, and I thought it was really good. I mean, I think this was a bucket list sort of match for I mean, it was not. I don't feel weird to say bucket list for a guy that's young like Will Ospreay, but it's definitely a match that he's been dreamed of for ages. It was obviously as a reference, it was meant to happen earlier, but because of COVID, it didn't happen. But yeah, so I think this was like a sort of a dream match for both of them, because I think Jericho has a lot of respect for Will Ospreay, and so yeah, they both look really good here. Like it's one of those things where if they go the route of like, oh, I can't hang with the young people, these young guns anymore, it's like, well, you kind of did. The only spot that I would say like kind of was a bit wonky was probably a spot he hasn't tried before. It was like when Jericho went to do the Oz cutter on Will Ospreay, and that was a bit messed up. But I don't put him like I don't think that took away from the whole match. I mean, that was still okay, I guess. But yeah, it was a really good match, and I think I do like Jericho's role here. I mean, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. If they're going to have Jericho and Sammy, or is Sammy going to like sort of give Jericho like a pep talk? I don't know. I don't know where you go from here. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this match. Yeah, and I mean, it'd be interesting to see if Will Ospreay, signs AEW in the future because he's implied that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I feel after that promo, I feel like it's almost certain now.
Yeah, but I think he'd be
no. In fact, if anything, I kind of thought this actually surpassed my expectations a little bit here. Maybe because again, it's just kind of something they've only set up in the last couple of weeks. Even though, yeah, they had a plan before, but as far as this show, like it kind of felt like kind of last second. I was kind of like, oh man, maybe kind of like President said, like, oh maybe Ospreay and Kenny would have been pretty cool again, but I like this actually. Yeah, I thought Jericho, and I shouldn't be surprised anymore because Jericho I think still has it, man. Especially when he's put in with like someone top notch like this. So yeah, this is actually a lot of fun. I like this a lot actually.
Yeah, I thought this was very similar to Jericho and Kenny Omega, in their Tokyo Dome match, where Omega definitely carried it as far as doing the big spots, the risky stuff, but Jericho working his smart, veteran moves and things like that, and I thought it was good, yeah. But yeah, I'll definitely go back and watch this. There's a couple of matches on here I'll go back and watch because on Bleacher Report it archives all your events. I can go back and watch replays, and yeah, a couple of these I'll go back and watch again. They're good. But yeah, we got our sort of a penultimate match. One more trios. We had the Acclaimed defeating the House of Black,
who had a great music video on Saturday. If you just want to,
that was fun.
Or should I say, in this match, based on their attire, the House of White, because they were in all white for this match instead of House of Black.
But they also, it should be noted, it was kind of cool. They came out and I think Malachi had a lantern, like Bray Wyatt. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, no, a little tribute to Bray Wyatt there for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but yeah, good stuff here. Yeah, again, man, Billy Gunn is astonishing. He's in better shape than half of the AEW roster. It's pretty damn astonishing.
Well, he's still the kind of dude that he looks like a pro wrestler. He's got the size and everything.
Yeah, he's big and yeah, he's tall. He's way taller than you always think he is. He's like 58 or 59 years old, still doing his thing. He looked great in this thing, hitting a couple of Fame Masters in some good spots. But yeah, I think both these groups way over. Again, a pretty standard sort of trios match. Nothing really that like super stood out, but still a good match. Yeah, and it was good to see kind of Billy Gunn get his big win here, with the Acclaimed and them coming out and Max Caster doing his rap, taking some digs at British, Prince Andrew.
At Prince Andrew.
yeah, some things like that. So that was fun, to see a little bit of that. But yeah, good stuff to see them back together again, and yeah, getting the big win here. So yeah, JPO, any thoughts on this trios match?
No, this is kind of like, and I don't mean this in a bad way. This is kind of the perfect, cool down in a way before the main event. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you shouldn't go too crazy before your main event, and you're just coming off a match that's pretty, work ethic heavy as well here. So, and you got to kind of work ethic people like House of Black. The Acclaimed are definitely more kind of sports entertainment, very just kind of fun to watch sometimes. So yeah, no, this again very much surpassed and added to the fun of the pay-per-view, and yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, is that right, Richie?
Yeah, I like the match. Yeah, a lot. I did like how they really put over, like, even though he took the pin, they put over Brody King as like a monster and like a guy
they
that
did
like
the same finishing sequence twice on him in a row.
Essentially,
he kicked out of one and they just did the same thing again. Yeah,
a very durable guy, because I think they're all over in the House of Black, but I think he's getting the most over. I think it'd be cool if they did something like with him in as far as singles. I think I like him. He's really good. But they're all really good. But the only spot in the match, it wasn't bad, but I think just thought it was funny how Billy Gunn teased that he was going to do a dive to the outside, and Julie House stopped him. Like, you were never going to do a dive to the house. That was never going to happen. You're running too slow in the first place. Yeah, but no, it was fine. It tied into the match, and yeah, it was good that he got his moment here. He could always do
my favorite kind of dive, which is where you run, and then you just slowly get out of the ring, and then you hop.
Get out of the ring and double axe handle.
Yeah, exactly. And between the ropes,
Well, or do my favorite ref tease a dive spot, which is my favorite to do because I don't do ref dives like my buddy Frankie. But we did a fun thing where I teased the dive, but then I went halfway through the ropes and started counting. That's a good spot. One, two. Because hey, you don't have to kill yourself to get a pop from the crowd. It gets a pop,
No, that's great. I actually really love that. Actually,
yeah.
I was kind of surprised they did the sort of the WhatsApp kind of leg drop spot on Julia Hart. I was like, oh, okay, they're doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know if they ever got a name for that move. I just call it the WhatsApp because it's kind of just a version. But yeah, no, it was fun. I'm glad they got their kind of moment. It'd be interesting to see how long they hold the titles for. But yeah, no, I think it was fun.
You know what we got to do now, right, guys?
What? Anyways, so and then we finally got to our main event of the evening. Yeah, and actually pretty highly anticipated main event here, mainly because people wanted to see what the hell was going to happen with this damn main event. But it ended up being a really good match as well, really competitive stuff.
Yeah.
Some good
it woke me up. I actually saw most of it.
Yeah, you saw most of that live. I was like, hey, you want to watch the main event, JPO?
I was like, yeah, I guess now's the time if I need to snap the fuck out.
You might want to see what happens during this thing. MJF retaining his title against Adam Cole. I think most of us predicted Cole, other than
I know.
Richie.
I sucked this episode. Yeah,
that might have been the tiebreaker because spoiler alert, Richie won the prediction contest.
I was surprised. I thought I sucked at the start of the show.
And I thought I was doing good. I was 3 for 3 to start the show, and then I completely bombed a lot of the middle stuff because I had the Elite, I had the Young Bucks, I think I had the Blackpool Combat, I had Hikaru Shida, so I bombed like 4 in a row. So yeah, I think that's
mine was just iffy from the get go. I think I lost the first couple. I got Soraya, but then I lost Blackpool.
Yeah. So it might have actually been close, and then I think you were the only one who had MJF.
I think you just did the best out of all of our mediocrity.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, obviously there was a lot of storyline stuff mixed in with this match, but still some brutal spots. Got that suplex he took on the stairs was gross. Right on the edge of that thing. You had like a Canadian Destroyer at the outside. You had you had Bryce Remsburg getting Tequila Sunrise, which
that was more funny than it probably
should have been. Yeah, right.
It's like the fact that you accidentally Panama Sunrise somebody.
Yeah, like how do you accidentally? Can't you stop from doing that after you jump off? I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't stop my momentum once I jumped off that rope and did a flip pile driver. Yeah, I mean, I think if he had done what the running, with the Shining Wizard or whatever, that would have made a little more sense, to a referee or something like that. But yeah, that seems like something you could have stopped your momentum on. But yeah, I mean. Definitely a lot of storyline stuff here, a lot of teasing of cheating and whatnot. One that me and JPO have both agreed did not make a lot of sense. Adam Cole, trying to get MJF disqualified because then you wouldn't win the title doing that. So yeah,
it's a funny spot, but it fucks with the logic. You get what we're saying, Richie?
Yeah.
Like, they did the Eddie spot, but if Cole was successful and threw it MJF and Bryce went, okay, ding ding ding, here's your winner, Adam Cole. By DQ,
but still champion MJF. Yeah.
Okay. It's going for the laugh without thinking of any logic.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the impact. Obviously, when it's like, oh, fine, I'll just put up the chair on my head.
Now that made me laugh. Now even I said live, I was like, okay, that's a funny ending for MJF. Again, that's a perfect spot for MJF to try to pull. But we're just saying, like, why would Cole want that spot? This is not a number 1 contenders match or anything. Like, you just want to get the title. And so I didn't like that because again, it's funny over logic. But I love how MJF because I think that's a new twist on it. Like, fine, I'll just fucking.
Yeah. But we had Roderick Strong coming out and trying to, toss.
Not doing much. Didn't really do as much as I thought he would.
Really. I mean, he tossed Cole the belt, tried to get him to use it on MJF.
True. That is something that needed done.
No, he refused to cheat. Both guys refusing to cheat at one point, which I think was the story. Adam Cole had a chance to cheat with the belt and hit him with it, and he didn't. MJF pulled out the ring, teased hitting him with the ring, and he didn't. He pulled back on that. Neither guy doing that. MJF winning with a kind of a flash roll up at the end, a little inside cradle there, and then teasing. Roderick Strong still trying to get him to go after MJF. At the in the post match, and Adam teasing he would hit him and still didn't, and then they. No turns here. They embraced and still best friends.
That was
so. Yeah,
I think the most shocking part of the night was that there was no shocking part of the night.
Yeah,
I was so like, all right, I'm just gonna kick him in the dick.
The ultimate swerve, JP, that there was no swerve. No swerve.
It's not the first time that's happened where we overbook what they plan. Like we've done that before on here, where we're like, this is the night that so and so Cody does this to him, and it's like, oh no, they just had a match.
Or there's been the opposite where I'm like, I think when Pez won the prediction, it was like, oh yeah, Carlito's going to come out. I'm like, I don't know if they're going to get Carlito, and then it's music hits. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, overall though, I really like this. Again, it kind of starts off and definitely continues. It's very much again a storyline match. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of testing each other's sportsmanship, and like that. But I like the story. I like how they built. I like how it then became MJF didn't want to do the tombstone, but fucking Cole's willing to do it, and they both don't really want to cheat and whatnot. So, and then it was a good match here. Again, I don't know if I'm going to say this was match of the year by any means, but I thought it was a really good match, a good storyline match here. Like I said, I don't know if that still was the best decision, just to keep it kind of like, nope, now they're still friends. We got a winner and they're friends, but it got a good pop. So at the same time, like, all right,
the story continues, JPO. It's not
story
over.
Continues, man. I know Cody Rhodes, fucking A.
I do like how like Roderick Strong's gimmick at the moment is he's just a cuck. It's funny.
Pretty much.
Still running around with the neck brace on, just
like the neck brace.
Running around with a neck brace, I guess, with the Kingdom. I don't know if I get.
And also good payday for the Kingdom, just coming out. It's okay, Rowdy, and that was their segment.
And same with like Ruby Soho earlier, just coming out, getting punched. Back to the.
All right, bye. I'm gone.
But yeah, so it's funny. I guess you didn't know Adam Cole doing the Kingdom or whatever. But yeah, that's I don't know. I thought that's fun.
One more big thing from this show too. When we're done with this match, we got to bring up. Sorry.
But yeah, I did like the story too. Like it was clear that like Adam Cole was being more brutal than MJF was.
Yeah, like I said, MJF didn't do the tombstone. Adam Cole was like, "I'll do it.
I'll brain bust you instead." So I'll give you a Canadian destroyer on the outside, but so I'm more buying now because I had trouble buying it. I'm more buying now that maybe eventually that MJF will be the babyface going forward and Adam Cole's going to turn heel.
Well, that's what I thought with Adam. I thought Adam Cole was going to win, and then MJF was going to be the babyface, chasing the title. You know what I mean? Adam Cole was going to go full heel, and was MJF was going to they were going to get behind the chase. But yeah, I think again, sure, it's intriguing enough to where everybody's going to see where this goes from here. But yeah, I think it would be a little awkward if he then turns on him on some random Dynamite or something like that, or at this other pay-per-view that nobody's going to watch or anything like that. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, but I think Roderick Strong's getting enough heat. There were a chance of "fuck you, Roderick." That was one.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a very hateable face,
He's got a very cuck-like face.
Well, yeah. The problem is, like, I was saying to my friend, it's like sometimes when you're doing like kind of burns to people, like you don't want to point out like a flaw that they actually have. You know what I mean? Like it's like otherwise, because it's like when MJF's calling it a bland, boring bitch. It's like he's a good wrestler, but he kind of is. Beyond that,
But what'd you have, JP, as far as
No, I just want to say for something big that we got to talk about. Kind of, sort of, the debut of Mercedes Moné. Sasha Banks up in the crowd watching the event. It was alluded to in the post scrum. He kind of very much gave the like, well, I just thought Tony Khan also too, not the greatest speaker because. About 4 sentences were all the same sentences where he's like, she's a big star. I just wanted to invite her to a big show because she's the big star and it's a big show. So the big star should be at the big show because it's a big show with a big star. I swear to God, that's what he said. Anywho, but Mercedes Moné. So I'm
quick on
you gotta assume, they're not because they even kind of sold it like, wait a minute, like Renee had the pre-show was like, go back. That is Mercedes, you know what I mean? So like, nah, they're not going to do that if, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to show this a freelance or anyone without it. They're being planned. So I'm sure she will pop up, whether it's signed or a one-off is kind of now the thing, but we're definitely going to see her sooner or later.
It'd be one thing if she was invited to like All Out at Chicago or whatever. But the fact they flew her over to England, there's something, you know what I mean? Like,
I disagree. I think it's the same thing. It's a flight. They got money. It's a huge ass show. That's a huge ass debut. No, this totally checks out to me.
I don't know. I just think it's a bigger deal that they flew her. But
yeah, because she is a big deal. This is a big get. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like of all, she's probably the biggest free female agent out there. So
yeah. But I think she's still got like I don't know what the status is with the injury, but yeah.
I'm sorry. That was the first thing I would say. Tony Khan did say, like, no, she's not cleared. But then again, like that's no saying of when will she be cleared? You know, October show.
Well, you figure everybody's watching this show, so they're all gonna go like, "Oh shit, she's on the horizon, like she's coming." To where like,
this is a great tease.
When she actually debuts, it'll get a big pop because people will be like, always kind of be like, "Hey, she's around. When she's gonna actually show up on TV, like, you know, or whatever." Yeah,
the news is out there now. It's just a matter of when. You know what I mean? And like I said, wrestling is such a kayfabe sport. She could be back fucking next week for all we know. You know what I mean? They could tell us 6 months. It could be, you know, next week. We never know.
Yeah.
Plus, we all thought like, and maybe it was the initial plans and then just went right. But remember when like back, it was like
they had a guest tag. Yeah.
So Saraya was teasing a mystery partner. I was like, well, yeah, and like, you know, like it was in LA and that's where, you know, Mercedes lives. He's like, oh, let's go. Yeah. And it just turned out to be like what it was like just a letdown. It was like just like, you know, no offense, like I think it's just like Tony Storm or something. So, but
I agree. We definitely like when you say, and we said this on the podcast before, when you say in pro wrestling mystery partner and you build it up for like a week or two, you definitely like you just grown to assume like that means something. It's not just gonna be someone on the roster. You know what I mean? Like so, So either they fucked up by just putting too much like emphasis on mystery, or something fell through with either Mercedes or someone else. Who knows? Yeah. For sure, that definitely felt like, oh shit, never mind. Then Tony.
Yeah. So you know, I guess we'll kind of give it a quick wrap up with the score and maybe your match of the night as we go around, and then we'll get into some predictions for some upcoming shows. So Richie, we'll score out of 10 and maybe your favorite match of the night.
I'll give it. Honestly, there's not. It's really hard to get, you know, like there's no bad show on it, and it's a historic show. The crowd is amazing. I mean, again, this is a year of great crowds because they've gone outside of, you know, states, you know, like W Puerto Rican the Puerto Rico crowd. Yeah, it's really good. Probably wouldn't get like it just misses out on like a solid 10 for me, but I'll go 9. Sure, I think it's still a really good show. Honestly, the first match on the actual All In show, which was Joe and Punk, I really liked that match a lot. So it just how simple and the story they told, and I think those two work really well together. So I think that's my favorite match of the night. But they're all really good.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, I mean solid show. Like I said, I don't have a single match where I'm like bathroom break, skip it. You know what I mean? Because even like the worst match, I'd still say has moments and like maybe a cool outcome. Like if you don't love the women's match, I think the entrance and the outcome's totally worth it here. And the match itself is not that bad. So I'll say just because there isn't also like I'm a pricky dick, so a 10 is going to be super rare. Just like my 5s on Letterboxd. And there wasn't like a match of the year maybe to like get me to like a 9. I'll say 8.5 though. Like this is more than worthy of your time. And again, one of those AEW, and there's been a few AEW pay-per-views where I'm like top to bottom, this is a good time. A match of the night, I could go several ways with this. Honestly, I could go the way Richie said. I'm going to give it to the main event. I think it's a worthy main event, and I think it was one too that kept me guessing and wondering, even if the ending was kind of squeaky clean, I was sure as shit invested. So, and that's what it counts to me in wrestling is being invested in what the fuck's happening on top of just good wrestling. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'll go sort of like an 8.75 because I think the crowd was good. There wasn't
Dave Porno 8.75.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8.75. Yeah, no evens.
Meltzer over here with 7 5s.
Yeah, why not?
How are you gonna explain it to Chris Van Vliet?
Because there wasn't a match of the year contender on this show.
Better than Dave can.
I can explain my ratings, better than he can. Yeah, but no, I mean, I just think, because I don't think there was like a match of the year candidate on this show, which I think it had the been one that really stood out. I think that would have pushed.
That gets me to like a 9.5, 10. Yeah,
if I'm like, holy shit! 9 territory.
Stop what you're doing. Go watch this match. You know what I mean? But I say that. But I'd still say if you're a wrestling fan, stop what you're doing and watch it.
Well, like Forbidden Door had Osprey Omega. You know what I mean? Like, we're still talking about as like match of the year.
Yeah, like if you watch one match, watch this.
Right, and I don't think this show had that. Although there was good things all around, there was no bad matches. A lot of really good matches. I think mine's kind of a tie between the main event and Stadium Stampede, which exceeded my expectations. And I thought
Stampede's a lot of fun, and it's really whatever your cup of coffee is, man. Like Richie's is kind of like one of the shorter, very nice, short and sweet matches. ZNA and Stampede is that crazy chaos match you want. You know what I mean? Like you got also other crazy chaos matches, Coven matches, and then a great singles match at the end.
Yeah,
and another great singles match. I really like. I thought about Jericho Ospreay. Like that very much. It's really good. Was up there. Yeah, that's another just great singles match.
No, for sure. So, but yeah, good pay-per-view. Definitely a thumbs up. Big time thumbs up. Big success for the Wembley show. Man.
Yeah, sure. And big shout out to just for this company. I mean, any company, but then this company for doing it, man, and like having a good draw and keeping it next year, and hopefully next year is the same, if not better, maybe. Who knows?
Being able to do a show like this within like 4 years, essentially, of being around,
Yeah, man,
pretty good, and to be fair, had about a year of
company,
and also had a year of dealing with a pandemic and surviving through it with like no crowds.
There was I forgot if it's still true. It's probably not now, but there was a moment where I remember someone reminded me, they're like, there's more pandemic AEW than there was normal AEW. Like that they had it eclipsed normal AEW for a minute there.
Yeah. And I hope like this sort of like is the impetus of like, like obviously when Wembley, there's not much bigger than you could do Wembley, but like something like it'd be cool if they went to like say like obviously I'm biased obviously, but like Melbourne,
I wonder why you wish they went there.
Doing a big arena in Melbourne, I think I still think they could.
Yeah, that was a pretty big like ask on the scrum. There's like several of like Chile, Puerto Rico, this, that, like someone threw out Chile in there. In fact, that was actually funny. Someone said to Soraya, and they're like, "Hey, do you remember wrestling in Chile? 10 years ago?" She went, "No, like, I've done a lot. I'm sorry," which is understandable.
I mean, here's one thing: Japan, I could see.
Yeah, they talk about the Tokyo Dome a lot. Why not do a Tokyo Dome show?
I wonder if New Japan will let that. I feel like they definitely would have to clear that.
Well, okay, maybe not Tokyo Dome, but another venue in Tokyo. There are other venues in Tokyo.
I feel like the only company that's done that, I guess TNA technically did it. Ring of Honor did it, but like, yeah.
ECW did a show at Kirk and Hall. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. They did a crossover FMW show at Kirk and Hall.
I remember that. That I do remember. Yeah. I just mean like by themselves. Like Ring of Honor used to kind of cross promote, and then finally like Ring of Honor.
I feel like not enough of these companies go to Japan. I feel like there's definitely an opportunity there, and there's wrestling fans obviously that would go.
Yeah, put in a couple people from New Japan to help. Yeah.
Yeah, no, a little bit of a crossover, but still promote. Yeah, it doesn't have to be at the Tokyo Dome. It could just be in Japan. But yeah.
No, I think there's lots of potential. I think we're just scratching the surface with AEW, which is exciting to me. You know what I mean? Like, I had my problems with AEW. We all critique things here and there, but like, I'm still very much in the hopes of just wrestling. I'm very much a hopeful of like, let's keep drawing big houses. Let's make it to where if somebody doesn't want to stay, they can go to AEW, like a Daniel Bryan. Let's make it to where we can go all over the world. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I think in general, like wrestling's just kind of hard at the moment.
I mean, this shows it. I mean, this is not a bad. This is proof, baby.
I think WWE's been pretty consistently decent for a while. You still got your issues. Still got issues there, but it's not.
We always will. None. As some like it hot said at the end. Well, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? Like we're always gonna be like, oh, why they do this ending and why they pushing this guy, not this girl, and this that. But as long as overall it's like I'm still having a good time, that's all that matters. And both companies, for the most part, I am. Like
Yeah. And I think both companies are realizing, hey, there's more markets out there other than America, and even Impact's doing that. They went to
Impact was there merged to Canada? It's Canada, right?
Yeah. But like Impact did a show in Australia as well. Like they did like in Wagga Wagga, which is not even a big market. I still don't know why they went there, but anyway. But like they've gone there. So
and that's smart on Impact though too. Like what I mean, like let's target some of these smaller markets that you know what I mean? Maybe AEW and WWE are ignoring. Like that's actually smart.
Yeah. And I believe WWE are going, I think in September or October, they're going to India. They're doing a show there. I don't know if it's going to be on like I don't know if it's.
I mean, WWE's had a really good year, man. I mean, this year, I mean, you had that giant show in Canada, Chamber. You had Backlash in Puerto Rico. Last year you had what was it, Scotland or whatever, Castle.
Yeah, Wales. Yeah, Wales. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. It's fine. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. I mean, no. It shows you that I think they are thinking more of that. And Triple H said that too in post media conferences. Like you could tell their mind is on that because there's, I mean. I don't think there's any other year we can mention that they've been to like 3 different countries, technically 4 if you include the U.S. obviously, within a 1 year span. Like that's never happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. They've done like the occasional Puerto Rico, maybe Canada, but like all in 1 year is pretty big.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we're pretty good ways into the show. We got some predictions to get to. We'll do these fairly quickly.
Yeah, we'll do these quickly, and it's only what we can do. There's like only 8 matches we're going to talk about.
What we can do. But yeah, we'll do these fairly quickly. Let me get my ticker off of there for that. Let's get the
I guess Pez keep track, I guess.
I'll try. I've got a sort of a chart here. I'll try to keep track here, but we can always go back and look at the show later if we need to.
And obviously, we will have to do the rest in the chat later this week because, like you said, AEW is more than half not done. I'm imagining WWE's got at least do one more. So
we'll go through this. What's been announced so far for Payback?
Yeah, Payback Saturday the 2nd on the Cock in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we'll do these fairly quickly. We don't need to go into a ton of storyline stuff. We'll talk about it more when we actually talk about the shows. Because I think what we agreed is, we'll watch Payback. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about what happens to All Out, but I don't think any of us are going to watch it. As far as I'm not going to order it, but
I'm going to try to find. I'm going to try to get it.
I'll probably watch it because I watch everything, but we don't have to full on go into detail.
We don't have to go full super detail. We can just kind of talk about anything that happens.
And that's your fault, Tony.
That's your fault. Yeah, sure is.
Tony's I got to change my ways, and only Marks won't review me.
But yeah, so we got the cage match. Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch. Definitely a hey, we're sorry about the last show. Here, we'll give you a big profile match on this show. Pulling you off there, but we'll go around the horn again. We'll go pretty quickly through these. But Richie,
obviously, this match should happen SummerSlam. I don't think. I can't see Trish doing much out after this. I feel like this is the blow off of their feud, obviously, and it should be. So I'll go Becky here.
Last time I said that, then Trish stuck around, so I don't know. But I'm going to agree with that. I'm going to say Becky.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to go Becky. I'll make it a clean sweep on this one.
We agree. It's come on.
Yes. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. Should be a good match here. JPO.
It's still too soon. I like this match. It's actually they had a good feud in NXT. It's still too soon for Mommy to lose. Mommy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll also take Mommy. I think some of these again a lower show. Maybe some of them fairly predictable, but that's okay. I don't see Rhea dropping anytime soon, especially with the whole Judgment Day stuff still being pretty hot right now. Richie?
Yeah, I think Raquel gets it at some point. She's surprisingly pretty damn over. And that these two have good chemistry. They're good matches in NXT. They're actually best friends in real life. It's kind of cool that they still get they get to feud. But
kayfabe, dude, kayfabe. Don't break kayfabe.
But I think it's too early to take it off Rhea, who's I think probably the most over woman probably in wrestling at the moment, one of.
Yeah, congrats to her and Buddy Matthews on getting engaged formally, by the way.
Oh, yeah, Buddy.
This match is weird.
Yeah, this match is weird. LA Knight.
It's not weird because I feel like they always do this. They're like, you're new and hot feud with the Miz.
Miz.
One's on Raw, one's on SmackDown.
You telling me LA Knight can't have a match with Austin Theory for the U.S. title on this show? Like, what are we doing?
He can't because Austin Theory's not the champ.
Who is? What the
Rey
fuck?
Mysterio beat him.
We'll get there in a second.
What the fuck? What is going on with this goddamn company? Jesus Christ. Are you telling me LA Knight can't be Rey Mysterio? Whatever. Weird match. I'll take LA Knight because Miz doesn't need a fucking win, right? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, but yeah.
I guessing that they're doing this thing because they got similarities in a way, but LA Knight's a better wrestler and just sure, and he's more. He's a more hot than the hot guy at the moment. And I don't know why they don't go Raw vs SmackDown thing. It's again, I prefer it when they just keep.
You gotta stop putting stock in the draft split, Rich.
I know. I want to. I want to.
I want to as well. I'm just saying, but when they don't give a fuck, I'm like,
they push it so hard, and then they pull back on it a week later and just have people on all the show.
Literally, like this was another one where it was like a week or two in, they were like, and just people were popping up. It's like, fuck, you didn't even try this time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, like the Miz doesn't. I don't know. It's interesting. Like I think when Vince sort of got back into the fold, like Miz like was treated like less of a joke. I think Miz is Vince's guy, but he still doesn't win matches. He's just got more of a profile. But yeah, LA Knight should win this match.
I think is just he's comfortably good in roles like this because I mean if LA Knight doesn't win, what the fuck are we doing here? So he's my prediction as well. And no, I think it's a placeholder to finally give LA Knight another good win here. And now it's on pay-per-view and whatnot. So you're a dummy. So LA Knight. It'd be no sense if fucking Miz wins. Here's your US champion. It's Rey Mysterio as he defends against Austin Theory. He won a couple weeks ago. Even though he wasn't supposed to fight for it either. Santos Escobar was the
kind of hey, I'll take a spot.
Who's first? Me?
I think me actually this time.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take Rey only because I think then, for God's sakes, give LA Knight a title shot and have him win a title, and let's get him going on some train. But I will say I would like an LA Knight Rey Mysterio match. I think more than LA Knight Austin Theory match. So I'll take Rey to win it and then go on to face LA Knight. That's what I hope. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I'll take Rey, but I think they're going to go with Rey versus Santos Escobar. I think Santos Escobar's turning heel soon, so I think that they tell the story, and it's probably. I mean, in my opinion, it doesn't make him a heel because Rey stole a spot, but Santos is probably going to get kind of bit grumpy about how he stole a spot. So you're gonna build that feud.
Can you have a Rey LA match and then have Santos screw Rey over and then have just them do a feud without a title?
You could.
I have an idea.
But I'll go Rey here.
I have an idea because I think you're both right and wrong at the same time. Now, my prediction is Austin Theory takes it, and then we get back to LA Knight and Austin Theory while Rey does his shit with Santos, because I think Santos might be the reason Rey loses this week. Because like we were alluding to before, Santos was supposed to fight Theory. Theory attacked him backstage, so they're like, all right, Rey, you go do it. And they've showed signs of like, Santos like, no, I'm cool, we're friends, but like I think it's gonna be like, oh, you fucking took what should have been mine kind of thing. So I think Rey's, because Rey's also been a transitional champion before, unfortunately, and I feel like this is going to be another transitional championship. Put it back on Theory, then we have Theory and Knight, which makes more sense from a face heel standpoint, because Rey versus LA Knight, that's face. You want all the cheers on LA Knight. So I'm gonna say Theory actually takes it back. Okay. So maybe
Rey's been the ultimate transitional champion. He was WWE champion for like 2 hours.
That's why I'm not surprised. That's why I'm saying I'm not betting against the fact that WWE is okay with being like, hey, Rey, we love you, but you don't need a title. So,
Yeah. All right. For the title there, Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, Richie.
Yeah, this is, like you said, this is kind of the show where like a lot of the sort of guys who are like sort of mid-carders get kind of, get a shot at like more upper card era. This is sort of like, this is one of those ones. I would love Nakamura to win the title. I think he's great. I'm glad he's getting more of a spotlight here. I think the match is going to be really good. It could be the match of the show. But I got to go Rollins. I think it's too early to take title off him, and especially I don't think he loses at a B show like Payback. So,
good deal.
Nakamura's going to kick him in the balls, and they're going to continue the feud. Oh, wait, they've done that before. I'm going to go with Rollins as well. I mean, if they really like push Nakamura, then I maybe would buy it more, but I don't see it happening now. I mean, this guy's gone from like not doing much, and now he's in a title match, which is cool, and I think it might be a cool match. But like, I think that the heat right now is still on the drip god, Seth Rollins. Oh wait, you didn't vote yet. Sorry.
Yeah, no, same knowledge or same logic that I think they just kind of threw Nakamura in this match. Like, hey, it's a B show. We'll give you a title match. You guys
build them up real quick. From nowhere.
But it's like that. Yeah, it's not built up for like title change build up. So no, I'm gonna go Seth as well. And then any predictions for what is it? The Grayson Waller segment with Cody Rhodes randomly on
we'll just leave that as is. There's nothing to really predict yet. Yeah, because that's the other graphic. I didn't even save it because They're just reporting it as a talk show segment.
They'll have a polite conversation and they'll leave amicably.
And they'll say, "I bid you adieu. Good night."
Bid you adieu. Let's pay-per-view.
Yeah. No, I'm sure nothing will happen in that segment. It'll just be a nice back and forth, and we'll leave. Definitely
fucking make it a match. Don't do talk show segment. Goddamn.
Well, it could be a thing of like, let's fight right now, and they do have a match. I mean, who knows?
They should. Well, just build it as a match. I'm not exactly. I guess it doesn't matter as much for WWE.
Although technically, JPO, if you remember, Stone Cold and Kevin Owens was just the Kevin Owens show.
This is not Stone Cold. Stone Cold can sell a pay-per-view with just the hint of wrestling.
I know.
Cody hinting at wrestling is not a pay-per-view.
That became a match that was technically just billed as a show.
Oh no, it could happen. I'm just saying, like, this doesn't make any sense. Either A, just do it, or B, save the shit for Raw is what I'm saying.
No, for
it's
sure.
Either going to build up a match between Cody and Grayson, or someone's going to interrupt that we're not expected, and then to build up another thing. It could be a Raw segment. Yeah.
Hey guys, since we're done talking AEW, suck AEW.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus. Another pay-per-view. Maybe Tony will come to his senses when he sees the buy rates for the show as compared to All In.
Tony, why won't you come to your senses? Yeah. They did ask about like any potential on a streaming platform on the Scrum, and he was like, "Hey, I'm open to it. All depends on the deal."
I feel like they keep dancing around the Max thing, but they haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. So I don't know. I hope so at some point. But we got the one that's probably had the most build out of anything so far. Yeah, for this show. Powerhouse.
It was first announced, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first one that was kind of officially announced. But so I guess we'll just start with Richie. This one.
Yeah, a big house match. I'm looking forward to the match. Big meaty men slapping.
Big scary giant. Meaty men match. Yeah, that's right.
This is hard to predict because Miro has only just sort of made a sort of comeback here, and Powerhouse Hobbs, is getting a huge push. I think I'm going to go with Miro just because, he hasn't been. It's his first time he's been used as prominently for a while, and you sort of want to get him a win. You can still push Powerhouse Hobbs afterwards, and if Powerhouse Hobbs looks good, he'll still get over, and I think he's still getting really over the crowd. So I'll go Miro here.
Okay, GPO.
I agree pretty much wholeheartedly. Yeah, this is one on paper is kind of hard because I feel like both could use this win. But I am going to go with in the end, they still haven't totally torn Hobbs away from, fucking QT and everyone. So maybe they'll end up being kind of his downfall and we can finally split Hobbs from them. And Miro, so Hobbs could use a nice win, but Miro, I think could use just that much more, being the fact that it's kind of a return again of Miro. So
I'll go the opposite. I'll say Powerhouse Hobbs on this one. Yeah, I think they're pushing him, and I don't see them not pushing him on this one. I think he'll get a big win over somebody like Miro because we just haven't seen Miro that much. But I feel like I've seen Hobbs a lot, and I'll go with it. By the way, we should go back to Payback for just a second because our predictions are very, very similar. So we need to go back and predict a opener for Payback really quick.
Oh yeah, well,
break it.
Unless you want to just save that in case they announce more shit by Friday. We could save that just in case you disagree that the opener might be the new match.
Yeah, I guess if they throw something else on there, sure.
I feel like in my opinion, the opener is already been announced, but we'll see what happens. We can save it for Friday.
Okay.
I'm just in case. We're not changing shit around. We'll lock things in by Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. All right.
There's a split here, a couple here, a couple here, one here.
Chris Statlander and Ruby Soho.
That's such a weird photo. Ruby Soho.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So JPO.
Damn. Because I'm a little torn on this one too because I actually think that it could be an interesting story of Ruby and Soraya having belts, and then fucking Tony you bitches. But I don't know. I'm gonna say Chris retains. Statlander retains. We'll keep it on her a little bit longer.
I'm going to go with what you were talking about. I'm going to say Ruby takes it and makes Tony very, very jealous of the other two.
Yeah.
and she does not, and rolls with that she's being forgotten. And how dare you flaunt your gold in front of me, and whatever. I think it would work for the gimmick, so I'm going to say Ruby.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, no, Richie.
And then do a triple threat.
I mean, we haven't moved on to the next one. You can change your prediction, JVO.
I'm thinking, Richie. What you thinking? I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, I was going to say Chris, but then that logic makes sense. So, because part of me thinks that like like it's too early to Chris to lose, but I don't think it's not like she's going to have a Jade Cargill run or anything like that. So, yeah, I'll go Ruby. Why not?
All right, clean sweep on Ruby.
Okay,
that's right. All three of us said Ruby, and if I end up being wrong, goddamn you guys.
All right, got Kenny Omega and.
This is all out, but I think. Oops, I know all it is the pay-per-view. Never mind, ignore me. I'm tired.
Yeah, no, this is the correct match. Yeah, Kenny and Takeshita here, and as a fallout of All In. Yeah, I'll say, yeah. I think it's Takeshita got the win on the other pay-per-view. I'll go with Kenny on this one to get a big one, but I think it'll be a good match just because I think Takeshita is still kind of a guy who's sort of in and out of AEW right now. So I'll say Kenny takes this one.
He's pretty full time, actually. No, like so. Just
yeah. There was a time where he was in and out from.
No, he's AEW. Like, he's not doing shit. Yeah.
There was a time where he was in and out being on DDT or where it was, but now I think he's full time there. But yeah, I'm actually going to go to Takeshita here. I think like Kenny Omega really. I mean, I think you can tell they're really behind him. I think, obviously Kenny Omega's really, I think that I think they're going to kind of strap the rocket to him, and I think, just having done Callis there, I like this sort of pairing. So, yeah, I'm going to go to Takeshita.
Okay.
Split. I'm going to go back to Omega. Again, at least so far we're a little torn on like what the endings could be here, so that's kind of intriguing. But I think maybe just because Takeshita got it this Sunday.
It's not $50 intriguing for me, but yeah.
I didn't say it was that intriguing. I just said at least it's a little intriguing that like we're not like it's not like Payback where we're like almost all of us are sure that like Rhea's got it at the end, Seth's got it at the end. Like we're not really, and if we're wrong, cool. But like none of us really have much stock in Shinsuke or most of those opponents. At least here it's like I can definitely see Takeshita taking it. You know what I mean? But I think again to go with that kind of like let's even shit up again logic. Give it Omega, and I think these two easily will probably fight again on Dynamite or Rampage. So, Richie says Don Callis will win, and we say
yeah. I predict Don Callis
couldn't find a graphic.
Have something to do with the match.
And this is me being cocky, saying it could be Pentagon. So if you want to vote for Pentagon, we could also just wait. We could wait.
It's not going to be Pentagon.
But I'm pretty cocky to say this is the match we're seeing Sunday.
Well, I feel like based on what we saw in Stadium Stampede, Moxley and Orange were kind of going back and forth at it a lot, and that's what I think they were kind of building.
It's such a weird, cold match to be like, no, the partners are going to fight.
Well, John was going after him, blooding him up. You know what I mean? Like I think they're building that. Like I think we can almost safely say this is going to be Orange.
And I think lock it in the chat, but like right now,
I think this makes more sense. Yeah, for the underdog.
I will say too. I'll lock it in the chat once we're sure by Wednesday, Thursday. But I'm leaning towards maybe Moxley taking it just to kind of have a side discussion. I think it's possible Moxley takes it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so
we can wait. And I could not find the graphic, but I think I found an appropriate graphic at Darby and Luchasaurus.
We still doing predictions on that one.
Is it like,
I feel like. We didn't. Well, yeah, but
we said there was much happening. We didn't actually vote for.
Oh no! I felt like we were waiting. I mean, you can go back. We can go back.
You just said you were voting for Mox.
No, I said I might. I was making a side discussion. I didn't say. I said on a side note. Right now, we can wait till Wednesday. Though I will do whatever you guys want. We want to go back. I said we'll wait. We'll wait. We're not for sure.
Okay.
Let's see how Wednesday plays out.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well, go ahead, Richard. We'll move
this
on.
This one's for sure.
Well, this one's already booked. Yeah, so go ahead, Richard.
Yeah. It's hard to predict. Because obviously Darby's always in the TNT title picture, and obviously he's not at the moment. Part of me thinks it's weird how Luchasaurus' position weird because it's eventually he's you'd think he would get sick of Christian calling himself the TNT champion, and then they would feud. But I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I'll go Luchasaurus. I think I think there's some schmozzle there, and then I'll just continue with the whole Christian Luchasaurus thing. So I'll go Luchasaurus.
Again, going to use your logic, but I'm going to use it against you here. I'm going to say Darby. I think we are kind of towards the end of that here. I think Lucha loses. One, they like flip-flopping this title, y'all. Let's admit that. So I almost throw out even the logic of like, well, Lucha hasn't had it that long. I don't think this title cares. And he's had a couple of nice like dominant wins. So give it to Darby. I think this will set Christian off and finally set up the whole like, even Christian can be like, you cost me my title kind of thing. And I think we finally get, maybe that Lucha turn that we've been kind of like thinking may or sooner or later happen. Darby's still kind of hot to where, again, I think just giving him the title kind of makes sense to a degree. I think it's more interesting than maybe like Lucha just kind of keeping it.
Yeah, I don't know where to go in this one. I don't have any logic. I'll just say Lucha. No logic. I don't know.
Lucha.
All right, a little split here, couple.
I'll take.
I like turtles.
He does look like dude.
It does. But yeah, anyways, we'll wrap it up with this thing. So next week, we will definitely we won't go into as much detail as we did All In, but we'll talk about both Payback and All Out. Whatever happens with All Out, we'll talk about Payback again because Payback's kind of a B show, sort of a thing. So we'll just kind of briefly talk about that, maybe not detail by detail, but overall, same thing with All Out. But Richie, as the winner of the All In predictions, you had your choice of what else we'll be doing next Thursday, not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So we've got some time, and you let me know of something in the comments. So you want to let them know what we're doing here.
We're priming the wheel again, baby.
Oh boy, we're priming the TV wheel. So we wanted to prime that TV wheel again. So that's what we're doing. So JPO, if you would assist me and bringing up that cock in the background, so you can assist me with some dates and whatnot as we pull up things one by one. But yeah, how this works is these two guys came up with this concept. We have a wheel, several wheels, I should say, but the wheel of wrestling TV shows is what we've got here. So I need to pull up the correct one here. Here we go. Let's pull up this one right here. All right, there we go. So what we've got is I have 4 different wheels ready to go as we narrow down the wheel of wrestling shows. So this first one will be, as you see here, we've got an assortment of shows. We got Raw, SmackDown, Nitro, Thunder, Heat, Velocity, ECW Television, ECW on Sci-Fi, and Impact. And we will spin the wheel and see which one we land on. And then JPO, if it's a Peacock thing, he assists me. If it's one of the other ones, we'll look up some Wikipedia and whatnot, and we'll figure out what we need to do. But then I have some years, I have some months, and I have which week we have the thing. So, Richie, I'm going to shuffle it up here. You tell me when to stop shuffling. So... Now, okay, and we spin the wheel. We'll first see which show we're actually going to watch.
Big bucks, no whammies.
Oh, boy, it's going to... Oh,
my
God.
From Nitro to Thunder.
Thunder. We had Nitro last time, and yes, this time it will be Thunder. Okay, so we... Thunder, give me those dates, JPO. I believe it... Did they start in 98? Was that a 98 or 97?
Let's see here. 98, 99, 0, and 01, yeah.
What's that? 98, 99?
98 through 01.
98 through 01. Okay, so I need to adjust my yearly thing here and just have 98 through 2001. And then obviously I might have to adjust our months given which one we spin here.
Yeah. But, and if it's 98 or 01, then
we'll have to adjust the monthly thing here. But let me go back and share this one here. Share our... thing here. All right, here we go. All right, got our 4 years there. Again, Richie, tell me when to shuffle.
Now.
Now, all right, and here's the spin for Thunder. This could go either way. This could be interesting. I'm not as deep on Thunder as I am on Nitro.
Partial year here,
We're going partial year.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to go to the beginning of Thunder here. Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, full month, full year. It starts in January.
It does start in January. Okay, so we have a full year of Thunder. Okay, so sounds good.
2, 3, 4 weeks.
Okay, and then JPO will let me know if that month has 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 shows because some of them have that.
Oh, that's right. We're gonna do month first. Yeah.
Yeah, but we got to get the monthly here first, so we will do that. Here we go. We got our months again. We'll shuffle up the months here and see what we land on. Richie, say when.
When.
All right, and spin is in. We're narrowing down 1998 Thunder. October. Okay. October 98. Oh yeah, the Halloween Havoc. Okay, so all right. Got that
and
one.
It's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. That is a 5er, actually. That's a 5er.
It's a 5er again. Okay. Oh, I already had 5th weeks on there. I was just going to delete that.
There you go. Easy.
So yeah, easy enough. I did not have to adjust. So let me pull up this last wheel screen here, and we'll see whether it be the first week, the second week, the third week, the fourth week, or the 5th week. Richie, say when on the shuffle again.
No thumbnails on the Peacock, but they have all of them.
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. And Richie, maybe or JP can give us maybe the preview of whichever one we pull.
Yeah, I'll give you the 2. There's only 2 sentences on each week.
Once
ending
again,
the month.
The final one, just like Nitro, we ended on the 5th week of Nitro. So, all right. So, whatever date that is, give us a date for that.
We got 10/29, October 29th of 1998.
29th of 98 Thunder. And what do you got for us? Some little preview there.
Hour 31, TV 14. So, if you're 13, can't see it.
Okay.
The Giant finds himself playing by a new set of rules when he battles a Raven. That's all we get on the cock.
That's all we get on the preview? Okay, so the Giant and Raven. Okay, the Giant versus Raven. That's all we know about that Thunder. We'll see what it was. I have been listening to some Brian and Vinny 98 shows, I think, around the summer, but yeah, I'll have to see. They haven't covered Thunder, so I don't know what they think of Thunder. They're just Nitros, but that should be interesting. This will truly be a really random show where we don't know what the hell's going on. Like I said, I'm more adept at the Nitros and the Raws, because they covered all those, not the Thunders. I've only dug into a couple of Thunders here and there, so this will be pretty much new. But hey, at least it's a 2-hour show. It's not a 3-hour show, so a 2-hour Nitro, as far as I know, unless it's one of those goofy 1-hour Nitros because of basketball.
No, it's 1 hour and a half, so it'll be 2 hours.
Yeah. So
1:31, hour 31. It's about 7 matches for you.
Okay, so well, the wheel of TV shows has spoken. Yeah, it's a fun concept. I do like this because we're just wandering into random territory with these things. But yeah, interesting that we still got on WCW this time, a little Thunder.
I know.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, hey, cool. It's still a different show. Different era even because last time we had 2000, so this is 98.
So about
still when they're hot. Yeah, still when they're hot and not necessarily great, but still hot. 1998. So this could be up, could be down. But yeah, so we'll cover All Out. We'll cover Payback, and then we will do Thunder from October 29th, 1998. Obviously widely available on the Peacock, so it should be easy to find. But yeah, other than that, we will start to wrap things up here with some plugs, and then we'll get out of here for the evening unless anybody has any other pertinent business we need to handle. No, I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. All right, Richie, any plugs? Anything got coming up? What do you got for us?
Yeah, just tournament fights, tier ranker, and combat wrestling trivia. A show about trivia. There you go, wrestling trivia. Other wrestling trivia. Yeah, you can find me all around the trivia space. Yeah, debates. Yeah. In tournament coming up here, and then whatever, and then so you can find me all around the places. I'm sure Jordan Anderson will let me know which what the next tournament fights is that I want. I'm pretty sure it's coming up soon.
I know, or I think you might be on the 2000s one word thing on Friday, I believe, right?
Okay, yeah.
You've been on most of those, right? So you might be on that one.
I might be on that one. Yeah.
And then I think next Tuesday is another tier ranker. We're going to be doing post-apocalyptic movies on the tier.
I think I'm definitely on that one. So
yeah, we switched it because we actually have some ones where we're kind of borderline. So we're just going to have a tier that says not post-apocalyptic. If you want to make an argument, we decided that way we wouldn't have to edit any of the movies. I think we got about 80 movies or so that should be fun. With a tier rank Tuesday, yeah.
Good.
All right, sounds good. JPO, what you got going on?
The usual shenanigans. I'm not popping up on here from time to time. If I'm over at Movie Battleground doing some debates, I'm currently in that tournament. Me and Richie on the same side of the brackets too. So who knows if and I actually speaking of no, you're on the other side of the brackets. That's right. But because I know Pez is in the tournament as well. So we'll see if any of the marks have to battle down the line. And then besides that, let's see. Popping up on Malcolm's channel. We just did John Cena movies last night. That was some fun stuff.
Are y'all doing Bray Wyatt matches next week?
Bray Wyatt. I don't think I'll be on that because I was just on the last one. But
I'm not sure.
But definitely check that out. I know Steve really wanted to be on that. Steve Mesa. But definitely check that out regardless on Rank 'em. They're doing the top 12 Bray Wyatt matches. So that's pretty cool. And then the Periscope channel, my own channel, where we do some trivia. We got trivia coming back tomorrow. We do a melee and whatnot. So yeah.
What channel is the wrestling trivia me and Jacob are going to be part of tomorrow night? What is that?
That is. Oh yeah, I forgot that was tomorrow. That is Pierce Wrestling, the other channel I always mention, except for the night of all times. Pierce. This is like the Pierce Co. This is Pierce Wrestling. Where again you'll see trivia, exclusive matches, interviews. They'll see your own Pester and Jacob the Barbarino. The Lonely Marks battling Lumexus Lords, which is Nico and Topher tomorrow. So, and that's a tournament match, Pez. You're the tourney king here, baby.
Yeah, but I'm entering uncharted territory with wrestling now. So, this is going to be interesting because I mean, Jacob's the more adept at like the modern stuff, and I'm more of the older guy. So,
that might be good because again, this is just combined scores. So, if you can at least one of you pick it up. You know what I mean?
Right. Pick it up and run with it. Yeah, we'll see.
I can give you some hints on your opponent's weaknesses if you want.
No, it's all good.
We got a guest co-host as well, co-writer as well. So that's gonna be a good one.
All right. Well, that should be fun.
I also need to write those questions tonight, but that's besides.
Hey, you can do it. He cranks them out there.
I'm a big night before guy anyway.
Yeah, but shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Jacob if you watch this. He's had a rough personal week, so he sat out tonight. So
much love to the Barbarino. It's not the same without you.
Yeah, no, for sure. So hopefully he'll be back. We'll all be back together next week to talk about those shows, watch those shows, everything like that. Hopefully, me and Jacob, we're going to try to do podcasts about movies this Wednesday night instead of on the weekend. We had to delay that one because some personal stuff, but no worries there. We're continue with our anniversary series. And like JPO and Richie said, everything else on the Movie Hero Network this week. I know on the channel, I'm not going to be a part of it, but it's Lord of the Rings versus Harry Potter, if you're into that sort of thing. And a big geek tournament there. That's definitely not my thing. I didn't want to be a downer, so I said, let me just sit out of that and we'll be good to go. I don't want to be the downer guy on that. They got some good people who are big and geeky on that.
If only more people said no to tournaments that they didn't know anything of.
Yeah, right. There's going to be a whole lot of these people.
I haven't seen it. Did he just murder that dude?
He just dropped him. I hope he's okay. Yeah. He drops him into a bush, so maybe he's okay, but he's right on his head. So.
Do we see the character again, Pez?
It's just a random dude. He's just hanging over the balcony. I don't know.
That dude's dead.
No, landed right on top of his head.
Ogre might have accidentally manslaughtered somebody on in that encounter.
That's the same movie where someone also gets raped. That movie doesn't hold up.
Well, it doesn't count if she liked it, JPO. Anyway, right?
Yikes!
All right. I'm only going by the movie's logic, not my logic. That's not my.
You said it like you agree.
No, it's not rape if you yell surprise. Okay. Anyways, let's see. Tournament tier ranker on Friday night. 2001 word titles. JPO is gonna peace out on that one. And then next week, post-apocalyptic movies.
My cat ran away. My cat was like, I don't want anything to do with this.
I don't want any part of this.
My cat's not getting canceled tonight.
You're fired!
shit, I'm fired. Damn, McMahon fired me. Damn, I'm off the show.
Movie Hero Network? Holy shit.
Yeah, god damn it. All right, but anyways, that'll wrap it up for tonight for the Lonely Marks. That's been Richie. That's been JPO. And we'll get out of here and we'll see you next time.